Titans. Like I'm getting like
People are jumping on it.
I'm like, no, it's not happening.
It might. You never know.
There's a small chance it happens. Get it?
So what you're saying?
Sorry.
There is a chance.
There's a small chance.
There is a chance. That's all we need.
No, there's not. They're not taking Kenny Pickett. They're just not. But I don't know. This is where everybody starts coming up with all this stuff. So we're going to get into all that. Alan Bell's going to join us in about 10 minutes or so. We're going to talk about the odds. What are the odds of that happening? In fact, I was looking because I'm like, why are these people asking me about Kenny Pickett? I had one buddy. He's like, hey, man, I'm thinking about hopping on Kenny Pickett to the Titans plus 500. And I'm like, well, dude, I was like, if you want to spend your money on that, go ahead. You clearly don't like my answer. I'm telling you, don't. Save your money. Bet on something else. No, it's not going to happen. But watch it happen. Then I'll never hear the end of it from me.
I just feel there's something out of the box that's going to happen with the Titans.
Something out of the box?
Yeah, something outside
like
of
what?
Something outside of what we all think. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom.
What do you?
Doom, 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 doom.
Do you have any things you want to throw out there, or do you just want to go doom, 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 doom?
Isn't that the what show is that? Law and Order? Is that Law and Order? Doom, doom,
Yeah.
doom, doom, doom.
Yeah.
Close. Sounds something like
I
that.
mean,
it's close.
We're guessing that's what you're doing. We all know what Law and Order sounds like. We're saying closest to Law and Order.
It's Law and Order adjacent.
Yeah, absolutely. There we go.
Poor man's Law and Order.
Oh man.
The rules and structure.
Play it for real, Elijah. Let's get Derek to do it real quick, and then let's compare. Let's see if they're even in the same zip code. Okay, so you do yours, D-Mace.
Okay, let me do mine. Doom, 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 doom.
I think it's getting worse the more we make you do it.
I think I have like 3 different sitcoms all in one.
Yeah,
Law
I'm
and
not
Order's
sure.
a sitcom?
It seems to be getting further away from
it's
Law
a
and
show. See?
Order. No, actually, no, I don't see. Yeah, but you didn't do that. You didn't do any of the guitar stuff.
I didn't do the wow.
See, you needed Sue to do that. He would have done that. He would have pulled out the guitar.
Absolutely, you're right. There it is.
I'm not saying that's.
That wasn't close. I did give the doom, 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 doom.
Let me
bass.
just say, we just had our meeting with you at the combine, and we're going back in the draft room, and we're going to maybe slide you down a couple pegs. We may drop you around after that interview. So you just threw that out there, which, by the way, could be the most generic blanket ever.
Well,
the Titans could do something really weird.
Here's the deal.
And then you could tomorrow say, "See, I told you that was weird."
But I didn't give you any
no parameters.
Yeah,
of
no
what's
parameters
weird.
or anything like that. No, I think there's a possibility that the Titans could do something. Because right now it's saying, okay, they're going to take a wide receiver, an offensive lineman. Yeah, maybe a quarterback, but highly unlikely. Defensive back, there's a possibility. But no one, and I mean no one ever.
No one.
Doom, 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 doom.
And I mean no one
Running back.
comes into our place and pushes us around.
Running back.
You keep saying that. Like,
Running back.
I don't know if this is a gut feeling and maybe you've put on a couple pounds or you're talking to somebody, but I don't know where you're coming up with this running back stuff.
Running back.
But I'm going to give it to you if it happens because I don't see it at all.
Running back.
Kicker.
Nah, not a kick in the first
Now
round.
that's outside the
Yeah,
box.
that's outside the stadium right there.
Yeah, that's a couple states over.
Exactly. No, I think running back, I'm just looking at, the structure of their offense and them being a run-first team. And Derrick Henry, him needing some rest. So I don't think Hilliard is the guy. I don't think he gives you what you need. I don't think anyone fears him. He's a good running back, but no one fears him when he gets in the game. The Titans need someone they can put in like they did last year when Derrick Henry was injured.
And you think that's in the draft?
I think that's in the draft. And there's some really good running backs in this year's draft. Now, does a running back, you got to be sort of like Barkley or McCaffrey or, what backs got drafted in the first round, the last couple of rounds? Chubb. I think there are guys possibly closer to Chubb than Saquon and McCaffrey because of the diversity. They're so diverse in what they can do. They can catch the ball as well as run the ball out the backfield, and they can line up wide. I don't think there's too many backs like that, but I think there are some backs that are some tough physical runners and that are going to be really good in this league.
Do you feel like are you nervous because Derrick Henry is now part of the Nashville SC ownership that he's going to be distracted? Is that why you're doing this?
Oh, no, not at all. And I'm happy for that's kudos to him, man. Goodness. Kudos to him. He's going to be here for a long time, whether he's with the Titans for a long time or not. But he's going to be a fixture in Nashville for a very long time, and rightfully so. But no, I just think just think 2 years ago, he rushed the ball, over 300 times, close to 400 times, somewhere around there.
He's never rushed.
What was it, 3-something?
Yeah.
3-something.
You talk about the 2,000-yard season?
Yeah, I'm talking about 2,000-yard season. Okay, but the year before that, when he got 1,500 yards, he rushed the ball over 300.
He rushed 378 the 2,000-yard season.
And he rushed, I think, 300 the year before that when he had 1,500 yards.
303.
Yes. Last year he was on pace to eclipse the 2,000 yards.
Correct. And he was well on his way to more carries too.
Exactly. Absolutely. They can't continue to do that. They can't. He can't continue to have these, 300, close to 400, if not 400 carry seasons.
Says who? Dun, 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 dun.
Says your body.
Oh.
Says your body.
Says who?
Your body. There you go. His body's, as he's just one of those dudes that just keeps himself in physical peak shape. But eventually those poundings, it's a wear and tear. It may not be, it may be a toe, it may be an ankle, it may be a knee, something like that. All those hits, man, you can't keep taking them over and over and over again. Every back that has carried the ball 300-plus times consecutive years, what has happened to them? They're broken down.
Phil in Kentucky says you need to work on your melody. You had no melody at all. I'm just saying. That's Phil in Kentucky.
I'm going to work on it.
I'm the messenger.
Thank you, Phil. I appreciate it, man. I really do. I take criticism, constructive criticism, and I'm going to work on it. Seriously.
Yeah. Phil may be a top-notch musician for all we know,
I don't know.
He may have wrote that song. I don't even know,
You're right about that.
Also on our text line, unnamed texter, J-Rob, please don't draft baby hands. So I guess that's a no for Kenny Pickett.
Who had baby hands on the movie? Was it
You're thinking of the Burger King commercials where people had Whopper hands where their hands were too small and couldn't hold the Whoppers.
Brian, listen, this is good. Brian on our text, please let this be a fun day on the text line because we've had some days where we could do a whole show off our text line. Brian on our text line says, a running back, ? That's a bold move, Cotton. I agree. That would be.
That's what I'm saying. What did I say? I didn't say it was
You did
the right move or the move we're expecting.
I know, but you keep bringing it up. So you are. I can't figure out your angle. I feel like you've talked to somebody, but you won't. You won't divulge.
I'm just looking at this
on.
roster, man, and when looking at a roster, and the Titans are drafting so low. And they might even find themselves trading out of the first round just to get, more picks. Obviously, getting a second-round pick is big, and they don't have one at this point. I just think they're in a position right now where they're going to draft the best available, because possibly the guy that they want will get drafted ahead of them unless they move up in the draft. Because this draft doesn't have a top-heavy quarterback class, then a lot of these other guys that may have slipped to the Titans had there been three quarterbacks that were heralded coming out of college. Now those guys are going to get drafted a little bit sooner, and a Traylon Burks may not be there. An offensive lineman may not be there.
Hit the music on the way out. Our theme. Alan Bell from Sportsline. We're going to get the odds on baby hands to the Titans, a running back to the Titans, and more. Here on the DDC, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
On the Titans.
Todd Downey's got his notepad out right now, just writing things down.
Inside knowledge on the Predators.
They can go right into the forecheck, and boom, you get a beautiful goal from Colton Sissons.
And then there's a team in Knoxville.
How excited should Tennessee fans be by what they've seen from Josh Heupel in year one?
Wake up and hang out with Robby and Rexrode. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Watch live on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Hillside Medical Clinic. Is erectile dysfunction damaging your relationship? Are you sick of the pill and all the side effects? Well, welcome to the future. We have a major medical breakthrough. Hillside Medical Clinic uses the most advanced form of wave therapy. Backed by 60 clinical studies, our technology uses pressure waves to repair and open up blood vessels. We've helped countless men get rid of their ED. But what is the true end result? Their relationship, even their lives, improve drastically. If you're ready to regain your love life, call us right now, and not only will the assessment and ultrasound be free, we'll also give you a gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. It almost never fails. This is worth $550, and it's free to callers right now. 615-576-5000. That's 615-576-5000. Put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and experience what I call the happiness ripple effect. Call Hillside Medical Clinic now, 615-576-5000.
Family Leisure invites you to vacation at home with a new spa, pool, patio furniture, or wood play gym this summer.
I really want a spa.
40 spas on display from Artesian, Best Spas, and American Select.
Prices starting as low as $29.99.
Family Leisure has over 100 sets of patio furniture with free delivery.
That sounds good to me, too.
We should really look at the wood play gyms for the kids. Family Leisure has the Diamond Point swing set on sale at only $24.99 installed. Family Leisure's vacation at home sale in Franklin and Antioch.
Family and fun come together.
It's the official Bud Light Preds watch party as your Nashville Predators take on the Colorado Avalanche this Thursday night. Puck drops at 8, but the party starts at 7:30 with all kinds of specials. See you at headquarters, Beercade, downtown Nashville on 2nd Avenue. Go Preds!
What if you could be debt-free in 3 weeks? Hey, Willie Donick here. My friends at Loan Pronto are helping people do it every day. It's Loan Pronto's debt consolidation home refi, wiping out tens of thousands in credit card debt. Listen, your home's value is way up. You can refinance now, take money out to pay off all your credit cards, eliminate PMI charges, pay off personal loans, or other high-interest debt. One local couple had over $50,000 in credit card debt. Loan Pronto did a debt consolidation refi. And even though their mortgage rate went up a tad, they cut their monthly payments by $900. Why pay 20% interest when you can consolidate it to one low payment with a mortgage APR in the threes? Homeowners who do it save an average of $800 a month. Do it now and even skip your next house payment altogether. That's what I call financial freedom. Call Loan Pronto now. 615-499-5780. That's 615-499-5780 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166-1781, subject to lender approval.
Zines First is the official sign company for 102.5 The Game. Go to sfnash.com. Hey, it's Mark Howard here. You've heard me talk about my friends at Apple Collision Centers for a while now, and today I'm here with CEO Stan Harrison to tell you about how they can help ease your stress with your auto body repair.
That's right, Mark. We have 3 convenient locations, Old Hickory, Hendersonville, and Gallatin, ready to serve you. Our people are homegrown right here in Middle Tennessee with over 75 years experience. We can help with all your auto body repair needs.
So stop by and see Stan and his team today and tell them Mark sent you, or visit them online at applecollisioncenters.com.
Listen to Stillman & Company with me, Caroline Fenton, all season long on ESPN 1025 The Game for your chance to win Nashville Sounds tickets courtesy of 312 Pizza Company in Germantown.
Every Wednesday at 6, we go behind the glass with current and former Predators players, along with coaches and broadcasters for Smashville Live.
Yost, Hal, and I were just talking about last night's game. It was a big game for us.
Presented by New Amsterdam Vodka, Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, and Red Spirits and Wine on Smashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Interact with Darren, Donick, and Chase. Call or text the show at 615-737-1025. Driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
Back here on the DDC, Darren McFarland, Derek Mason. It is draft day. It's not hump day, it's draft day. First round tonight in Vegas. Boy, I wish we were there covering it. Wouldn't that be fun?
Fun.
D-Mace would be shirtless. Man, we would be having a good old time.
Definitely. By the pool, because we'll be doing a show by the pool.
If we were doing it in Vegas, I'd probably get a tattoo.
Oh, definitely. You getting a tattoo
on my back.
I'd lose a tooth.
With a We put Philly on the roof. Let's go to Alan Bell from Sportsline. What are the odds of that, huh? Let's find out the odds of that. Alan, good morning.
Hey, good morning. First, I appreciate you guys having me on. Second, yeah, Willie, you get a tattoo, man. That's live coverage right there. Everybody would have enjoyed that.
Yeah, Willie or I are ink free. So if either one of us declared we were getting some ink, that should be a big deal. And I think I would do it if we were in Vegas covering the draft. So let's get down to the odds. Let's just start with what D-Mace. I don't know if he's been sipping on something in his Kool-Aid this morning. I don't know what's going on, or if he's talking to somebody. I can't get a read on him.
It's the organic juice.
I don't know if he's putting out smoke like a lot of teams, but he keeps bringing up Titans drafting a running back. What do you think the odds are that the Titans actually draft a running back?
I can tell you it's plus 8,000 if it's going to be in the first round.
Yes,
that's legit.
I'm going. That's where I'm going now.
Is that for real, or are you just making a statement?
No, 100%. It's 100%, right? So
plus 8,000.
Yeah, plus 8,000. The only odds that are worse for the Titans in their first round pick is to take a kicker, punter, or long tackle. That's plus 10,000.
That's why I said it's outside the box.
Yeah, it's outside the box.
Hey, you know what? Hey, outside the box is where the money is. So,
Look where Alan see how Alan worked that. That was nice. That was nice. Okay, so in all seriousness, they are favored. Or the favorite, from what I can tell. You help us out. That's why you're on here. Seems like offensive lineman, that position, O-line is the favorite for the Titans to select at 26?
Correct. Yep. So the favorite offensive lineman plus 200. Next is wide receiver plus 325. After that, defensive lineman plus 350. And quarterback at plus 400. So offensive lineman, the prohibitive favorite. But right after that, wide receiver, D lineman, and quarterback are all kind of right there in the same spot. So fascinating. But yeah, offensive lineman is definitely the prohibitive favorite as of right now.
I have actually seen certain sites that have the quarterback position as either second or third behind offensive lineman and or wide receiver if it was third. Have you seen it that high? I mean, and where's this coming from, in your opinion? Like, to go with the first pick, quarterback? I don't see it. But I've got a buddy who obviously loves to dabble, that he has been wearing me out this morning. I guess he wants me to give him the green light to put money down, some shackles down on the quarterback position as the first pick for the Titans. But I'm like, dude, I don't see it. You're asking me, and I'm telling you no, but you clearly don't like my answer.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Like, I have seen that in a couple books, right? First, here's how difficult tonight's draft is for everybody. Any book that you go to, they're all completely different because nobody really knows what's about to happen. Like,
good
it's
point.
kind of a weird draft,
Yeah.
right? But as for quarterback, I don't see it either. And, we're looking at, in the first round tonight, all right, we're looking at, the over-under is set at 3 quarterbacks that'll be drafted, all right? And we're all kind of thinking, if you take those 3, it would be what? Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis, and probably Desmond Ridder, okay? So I don't even know if we're going to have 3 take. I already bet on the under of 3 because even if it hits 3, I could get that push, and we've got some insurance there. But I don't know if we even get 3 in the first round. Plus, you have a lot of teams who have 2 picks, in the first round.
Yes.
So I think we're going to see a lot of trades as well. It's going to be a fascinating first round. But, yeah, long story short, I don't see quarterback at least that high. They'll probably draft one, but I don't see any way that it's a first rounder.
So you're saying the number of quarterbacks selected in the first round, the over-under is 3?
Correct.
Oh, this is pick 6. I'm taking under and top shelf. I'm double top shelf in that. Under.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
That's a
I
great
definitely
bet.
see it.
That is a great bet.
And I heard an analyst, and you guys know better than I do, but, talking about kind of grading these quarterbacks, and I can't remember who it was, but he goes, Jordan Love for the Packers, he goes, if he were coming out like this year, he goes, he would be the number 1 quarterback taken. And he goes, and I'm not that high on Jordan Love. So I'm with you. I don't think that this is going to be a heavy first-round QB.
Wow, that's an interesting statement. Whew.
Yeah.
Man. Speaking of quarterbacks, so you said Baby Hands is the favorite?
Yeah. It's kind of bouncing around. That's another thing, right? So it's tough, man. You're seeing Malik Willis minus 200 as the favorite, Kenny Pickett plus 150. And then after that, think how far of a drop this is. This just be the first quarterback selected. So Malik Willis minus 200, Kenny Pickett plus 150, then Desmond Ridder plus 1,200, right? It falls off like that quickly. So it looks like it'll probably be Malik that's taken first. But, yeah, man, I just don't see. I think 3 is the absolute ceiling. There's no way it's going to be more than 3.
No chance. I think that is in fact, whatever you did, I'd probably do a little bit more. I feel really, really good about that one. Okay, we went down to Jacksonville a couple of days ago, Alan, and I swear I was more confused. It's exactly what you said about we're talking to Jags Insider, and by the time we got done with the interview, I was like, I still am confused on what they're taking at 1. There was no definitive answer on who they're taking at 1. So what is the favorite? Who is the favorite to go number 1, and what's the gap between 1 and 2 with the odds makers?
Yeah, okay, so what you just said, let me give you the perfect example of how crazy that it's been. All right, 96 hours ago, it was Aiden Hutchinson at minus 250, minus 300. The juice was getting so high, people weren't even betting it, right? Because they were like, it'll be Hutchinson, let me just move on to another one. 96 hours later, as we sit right now, Trayvon Walker out of Georgia, minus 450 to be the first overall pick.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And here's the thing, and Aiden Hutchinson's not even in second anymore, all right? It's Ikem Ekwonu, all right? So it's what in the world, first, for the Jaguars has happened because nothing's happened. You know what I mean? And then, 2, how has Aiden Hutchinson fell that far? Because, again, nothing has happened. There haven't been any workouts in the last 2 days. There's no visits. So it goes to show you, man, the draft is craziness, And then watch, Aiden Hutchinson will go first overall, and somebody's going to make a ton of money off of it.
Well, what it goes to show you is how much people tune into draft coverage because this week it's amped up, and so people are, they start – somebody starts talking about Walker, and the next thing you know, the public starts betting on it, right? I mean, that's you know how this works. I mean,
totally.
We're talking with Alan Bell, Sportsline. Now, what are the odds that none of these quarterbacks is taken in the first round?
Yeah, so that's a great question, right? So you'll have to dig, for the book to find that because it's going to be such high odds. You're going to get that at around plus 4,500. All right, so put down $100, you get $4,500 if you win that. If no QBs are selected,
That's not a horrible. That's not a bad little thing to throw a little bit down on, just in case.
Not at all. 100%, right? So, like, I kind of look at it like, when you're betting and you've got your solid picks, like we just talked about, like the 3 QBs in the first round, like that's a full unit bet, normal standard bet. But then you find things like this, right, to where you're like, all right, I'll sprinkle 10% of what I normally bet, on something. Let me put, 10% on that. Let me put 25% on that. Like, just for the opportunity, because if it happens, you'll be a very happy person.
Now, what position has the best odds to be drafted the most in the first round?
All right, that's another great question, right? So you take a look here, and we've got, obviously, 32 picks there in the first round. So the highest position is going to be defensive lineman, all right? So and a lot of it is that, now that, we kind of look at that edge position and it's considered with the D-line, that's kind of where your favorite is right now. I'll say this, it's close. Out of 32 picks, I've got down offense 17, defense 15, right? So it's pretty close there. But I'll also say this, we got D-line at 8, got O-line at 7, and I have wide receiver at 7. And that's in the first round. Like, there are a lot of these guys to go around. And the interesting part, how we started the show, running back, 0. Like that, I know, like it's crazy how much that position has been devalued. But here's the thing. We're looking across the league to where wide receivers are demanding so much money. You know what I mean? Like, to where even the Packers, like them getting rid of Devontae Adams goes to show that I bet that running back cycle will start to come back around, in the next few years, because not every team's going to be able to pay $30 million a year, for a wide receiver, even though, I mean, D-Mace, obviously, we need that position, but I'm just fascinated to see how that cycle goes.
Well done. Nice end there with that, Alan. Well done. Like, talking about these, diva receivers but working in. But, hey, it was still love the position, D-Mace. Still love it. All right. We love props, too, Alan. Let's finish with this. We love our props. I've been, you get on Twitter and today, and it's like pictures of Laramie Tunzel, a couple years ago with the gas mask. And it's, Is there a prop on something goofy happening? And I don't even know how that works, but I guess what's the goofiest prop you've seen? Or is there a way out there prop on the draft?
Yeah. So there's not many as of yet. You'll see some books start to leak some out as we get closer. The most popular this year and every year, right, is Roger Goodell, and, like, how many players, like, over under, does he, like, throw, like, the bro hug out there as opposed to, like, just the handshake, right? And, like, the over under set is 12.5 for tonight. So, yeah, so that's about the best one that we have. It used to be great with, like, music. You could pick by, like, genre, but now they just release it of what these guys, that they'll walk up to. So, yeah, you don't see that as much. But, yeah, it's mostly Roger Goodell in regards to that. So, yeah, if anybody's, keeping pace at home, 12.5, that's your over-under.
You got any ink?
On that one or in general?
No, on your body. Do you have any ink?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No ink.
So, one of these days we'll go do a show in Vegas and we'll make a bet, and the loser's going to get some ink. How about that? We'll have fun.
Down.
Okay.
Yeah, let's absolutely do that.
We'll get some sponsors, and we'll get it all paid for, and we'll have fun. Alan, thank you as always. Really appreciate it. Good stuff.
Babe, appreciate you guys. Have a good one. Thank you.
Alan Bell, Sportsline. You go follow him on Twitter. He is a fun follow, at Alan Bell 247. We'll come back. We'll find out who. We're going to get Derek Mason to reveal his source because somebody's giving bad info on the running backs. We'll do that next.
Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN.
Welcome into the DDC.
Stillman Company is delivered. There's a new way to hear 102.5 The Game. Nashville's best sports talk on 106.3 FM. From downtown Nashville to Spring Hill on I-65 and to Murfreesboro on I-24. You now have two choices to hear our great sports programming.
Get the extra point, no problem.
And the Nashville Predators.
He scores!
Check out 106.3 now and save it as a preset.
Get a great deal on versatile Kubota equipment today, like Kubota BX and L Series compact tractors, part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. Z Series mowers and Sidekick utility vehicles. Stop by your local Kubota dealer today. Bring home the Kubota L2501 tractor for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months, plus save up to $1,100 now through June 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more details.
Krebs Kubota. Stop in, click, or call. Visit them online at KrebsKubota.com.
Smokeville Smoke Shop has been serving Hendersonville and Metro Nashville since 2015 and is committed to providing high-quality, hands-on, and personable customer service. Stop into Smokeville Smoke Shops in Hendersonville, Gallatin, Hermitage, and Goodlettsville to try any of their wide selection of locally sourced products and selection of top nationwide brands, including vapes, hookah, hand-blown glass, detox systems, e-juices, kratom products, leaf wraps, and much more. Visit Smokeville Smoke Shops today.
Hey, it's Jared from my official sportsbook app, the FanDuel Sportsbook app. One of the things I love about betting my favorite sports is that I'm always finding new player props or game props that I like. And what's cool about FanDuel Sportsbook is you can combine prop bets from multiple games and now even multiple sports. It's called a Same Game Parlay Plus, so you can only find them on FanDuel. Combine NBA playoff player props you love with your favorite baseball home run hitters to score an even bigger payout. For example, you got the Predators in the NHL and the Grizzlies in the NBA. You can put them together. It's awesome. And if you don't want to build your own same game parlay, check out their popular same game parlay section where you can join the bets other users are jumping on. And if you're new to FanDuel, sign up with the promo code JGM to get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Make every moment more and download the FanDuel Sportsbook app with the promo code JGM so they know that I sent you. 21 and older and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. Refund issues. Non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line 1-800-889-9789.
The Ainsworth Nashville has been bringing a sophisticated twist to the classic All-American sports bar, restaurant, and private event experience in Midtown since 2018. Our multi-purpose venue consists of a full-scale restaurant, bar and lounge, and event space. Come for the wings, stay for our happy hour, and visit us for brunch on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We've got the good times to keep you singing all night long. The Ainsworth Nashville. Burgers, cocktails, sports.
Visit the Ainsworth at 206 21st Avenue South in Nashville or online at theainsworth.com.
The sounds.
Play ball! Out at second base! A tremendous throw by Bryce Terang.
The Nashville Sounds are back on the road to take on the St. Paul Saints.
Swing and a miss, strike three. Sounds win.
Coverage begins at 6:20 on your home for the Sounds.
ESPN
94.9 and the Game Nashville app.
Hey Nashville, Trey Wingo here. You're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Pro golf is coming to Nashville in May. Do you realize May is this weekend? Yikes! Where did the time go in 2022? The Simmons Bank Open. Text in the keyword golf right now, 615-737-1025. That's our text line driven by Wilson County. Hyundai.com, a chance to win a weekend pass for 4. Plus you get to enjoy it in style. Food and drinks included, Predators gift pack, which includes a polo shirt, balls, and an umbrella. Again, text the word golf, 615-737-1025. Now, keep that number in mind because that's also our phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. In the last segment, we're going to have a little fun. We're going to give away some tickets, but we're going to put the listeners to work, Derek. But they've got it. We're only going to be able to take 6. We're going to load up the line, so you're going to have not fat fingers, but fast fingers. Fat fingers gets us in trouble with text, right? But you should have fast fingers. So we'll start doing the finger exercises now because we're only going to load up the lines, and those people are the ones that are going to be locked in for a prize. So that's going to be before we get out of here this hour. So keep that in mind. All right, reveal your source. Who is it? Who's your source?
There's no source. It's just a feeling.
A feeling.
It's the
ego. You've got
the
a
ego
feeling.
has come back.
See, and that's what I knew. I
The
knew
ego.
somebody drunk, and the eagle's typically not sober. So it's the drunk eagle again.
It's the eagle.
Golly.
The Dreagle.
Yeah, it could be that
The
too.
Dreagle. That's at night. It becomes the Dreagle.
Hey, man, I'm just saying. Don't be surprised. If it happens, I'm not going to even say I told you so. I'm not going to even say I told you so. Just going to nod my head like this.
What up? That's all you need to say.
Get at me, bro. That's all
So
I'm
are you saying the first pick, or you're saying they're going to draft one?
I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised. And listen, it's a long shot, but I wouldn't be surprised if indeed they do draft one. Because to me, it would be because there's no quarterbacks in this year's draft that really warrant a first-round grade. Now, teams may talk themselves into drafting a quarterback or 2 or 3 in the first round. That pushes everybody down in the draft. But if there's no quarterback drafted, say, within the first 15, then the person that they want might not be there any longer. And they go for the best available after that. Or just get out of the first round in general and get a second round pick. I can see that definitely happening.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Phil in Kentucky texted back and said he didn't write the theme, but he does play Broadway full time. He did it for 7 years. So he said, "Love you guys, love the show."
Oh, so I need to up my game then, because he knows what he's talking about.
Well, look where we are. Look what market we're in, man. You can't just throw out that stuff and have dogs start barking and howling. And
exactly, I know.
Musicians are like, "Oh, holy cow!"
Let me correct him right quick. Let me correct him in a nice way. Let him know, hey, you got to bring us a little bit different beat. You got to bring it.
Andrew says that would be so Titans to select a damn running back, not just a running back, a damn running back in the first round. The entire NFL has figured out you win Super Bowls throwing the ball, and for some reason we insist on 1982 football.
Nah, you win Super Bowls by playing defense.
There you go.
You don't win Super Bowls by throwing the ball around the yard.
Yeah, I've never heard throwing the ball around the yard wins championships. I've heard defense wins championships.
You know why the Rams won? Because of that defense. That's why they won. They didn't win because they were throwing the ball around the yard, even though they did get big plays, but that defense was stifling, especially the second half. So you're going to win Super Bowls by playing really good defense. And this, this is a very unique draft. And Allen said it. Because there isn't that top flight quarterback. Now it leaves everything else sort of in a fog or in a haze on who. But it doesn't have that top end quarterback. I think a lot of people base the draft if they have a top end quarterback, then it's a good draft.
Right. But based it on just the quarterback
exactly.
position.
Well, no, it's still a lot of really good players out there. They're going to get an opportunity to get drafted higher because there's no quarterback.
Well, I think the other part is college football is so popular, and there weren't those players that we really gravitated to this year, right? Like some years, there's just like these big, high-profile players that we watch, right, every week throughout the course of the season. And I think that plays a factor into it. Look, guys like, I get it. His athletic ability was off the charts, and I don't want to go down that rabbit hole again because we've discussed that so many times over the years. But, Vince Young, in large part, yes, he played for Texas, and yes, the owner lives in Texas, at the time, and BY is my guy, blah, 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 blah. But, as like everybody remembers that Texas USC game, it was one of the greatest college football games ever. And I think Leinart and Vince Young, even Reggie Bushing, throw some of those. Their stock moved up tremendously off that game alone just because of the popularity of it. Everybody was watching. And I guess what I'm getting at is some years we have these certain players that we're talking about the whole time throughout the course of the year. And this past year, who was it? Think about the Heisman stuff. We were like, really wasn't. Who were all the big-name players that we were talking about all year? Like, man, I'll tell you what, when they're playing, you got to watch this kid. You got to watch this guy. But it just wasn't. I didn't feel like there was that this year.
Bryce Young, I believe, was clearly the
But
best
he
player.
will be next year.
The next. Yeah, but I'm saying you're talking about draft eligible guys that were coming out.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, Jamison Williams, I do truly feel had he not blown out his knee, he would have been a top 3 pick.
I was going to say top 10 for sure.
And because Jacksonville's drafting and they're still trying to figure out what they need, I wouldn't have been surprised if Jacksonville drafted him first overall just to get another weapon for their quarterback.
Yeah, and they can wait because there's no expectations for this year, right? They can wait for him. Okay, if he's not ready to until halfway through the season to really get going, then Jacksonville's not going to be predicted to do anything other than when we went to Jacksonville a couple days ago, say, hey, the optimism down here is, hey, this team may win 7 or 8 games this year. It's like, so if that's your bar, well, why not, right? You're worried about you're thinking long term. You're thinking future. You're not worried about this upcoming season. So,
no, you're right. I just don't. I just think, and there were other handful of players that. If we were in the era of running backs, then I think Kenneth Walker III would have been a top 10 pick, or some of these other running backs. And it's interesting how, you don't value the position, but what do NFL teams always say? We gotta run the football, but you don't value the position enough to be a dominant run team. But they always say, we got to run the football. That's an oxymoron. We got to run the football, but we don't value that position.
About the running back.
Exactly.
Yeah. We'll come back. Let's do this. Load up the phone lines. We're going to give something away. We're not going to tell you how we're going to do this, but the first 6 to get in, you're in, and you're going to play along to win a really cool prize. This weekend, by the way. There's my hint. 615-737-1025. That's our phone line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. We'll come back and wrap up the first hour. John Glennon to begin the second hour here on the DDC ESPN 1025 The Game.
Hey, this is Roman Yossi, and this is Smashville.
Going to the front of the net, he scores. What a gorgeous move. Roman Yossi.
You're listening to the flagship of the Nashville Predators radio network, ESPN 1025 The Game.
From the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
I'm Fox 17 News Code Red meteorologist Dan Guthrie. Lots of sunshine for the rest of the morning and into the early afternoon before clouds will start to roll in. Still going to be a warm one, though, with a high of 79 degrees.
This weather report brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
This segment of ESPN 1025 The Game is brought to you by Train Heating and Cooling Systems. Tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent train dealer. Traininfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
Seltzerland is turning Nashville into a hard seltzer paradise on Saturday, April 30th at Riverside Golf Links. Enjoy this one-of-a-kind immersive experience as you spend the day tasting over 100 unique hard seltzers, indulge in great food, tons of seltzer swag, and bust out your Instagram for the best photo moment. Seltzerland has rounded up the best hard seltzer brands in the land for one epic day dedicated to the bubbly brew everyone can't get enough of. You don't want to miss out on Seltzerland 2022, April 30th at Riverside Golf Links.
Golfers, swing into Edwin Watts Golf Shops for the new Ping I-525 irons and Glide 4.0 wedges. The Ping I-525 irons have a forged steel face, allowing for dynamic distance and a greater feel. The next generation Glide 4.0 specialty wedges are engineered for high-spin performance with a lower launch. Get a free custom fitting today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, and shop us online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
Hey, what's going on? Chase McCabe here to tell you about Dr. Kelly Rice Family Cosmetic and Dental Sleep Medicine. Dr. Rice, is it true that according to the American Dental Association, roughly 80% of people in the U.S. have some form of gum disease?
That's right, but our non-surgical periodontal therapy is painless and effective in keeping your mouth healthy. And the mouth is the window to the health of the rest of the body.
I know you have some different things that you offer. What else can you tell us?
Well, first, who doesn't want whiter teeth? Our new Zoom LED whitening system is less sensitive, and you get more than 5 shades of whitening. And we just upgraded both our lasers to kill bacteria during your cleaning.
What about taking care of cold sores some people may have, which can become painful? Can lasers help with that too?
Yes, the gentle laser setting will kill the virus in your cold sores all naturally while reducing the healing time by half. And our special soft tissue wand uses warm, light laser therapy to give instant relief to severe TMJ pain. Our approach to holistic dentistry is unique.
Give Dr. Kelly Rice Family Cosmetic and Dental Sleep Medicine a call today at 615-373-4488 or visit kellyerice.com. You'll certainly be glad you did.
Family Leisure invites you to vacation at home with your family with a new spa, pool, patio furniture, or wood play gym this summer.
I really want a spa.
Family Leisure has 40 spas on display from 3 of the biggest brand names: Artesian, Best Spas, and American Select. Prices starting as low as $29.99.
What about above ground pools?
Family Leisure has hundreds of pools in stock and on sale. Guaranteed installation before Memorial Day, starting as low as $29.99. Installed.
Wow, that's great.
If you're looking at a spa, I want some new patio furniture. Family Leisure has patio furniture from all the big brand names like Hannemint, Woodard, Jensen, and Apricity. There's more than 100 sets on display to choose from with free delivery.
That sounds good to me too. And maybe a new Sabre infrared grill to go with it.
We really should look at the wood play gym for the kids. Family Leisure has the Diamond Point swing set on sale at only $24.99 installed. It's Family Leisure's Vacation at Home sale going on now at both huge locations, Franklin and Antioch.
Inside knowledge on the Titans.
Todd Downey's got his notepad out right now, just writing things down.
Inside knowledge on the Predators.
They can go right into the forecheck, and boom, you get a beautiful goal from Colton Sissons.
And then there's a team in Knoxville.
How excited should Tennessee fans be by what they've seen from Josh Heupel in year 1?
Wake up and hang out with Robby and Rexrode. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Watch live on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. If you've missed any of today's show, just search Darren, Donick, and Chase on Apple, Spotify, or on your favorite podcast platform.
Okay, if you're looking for a place to hang tonight or tomorrow to watch the Predators take on Colorado tonight, that game is at 8 o'clock. So a puck drop at 8 o'clock. I'll have pregame for you at 7. Everything heard right here on these airwaves. And then tomorrow night, 9:30 start to close out the regular season. 8:30 pregame here on these airwaves. If you're looking for a place to go watch these, it's Headquarters Beercade. They've got drink specials. You can watch the Colorado game tonight or the Arizona game tomorrow night. Plus, you can watch their app. Look, they got TVs everywhere, so you can take in everything. The Grizzlies game, game 6 will be coming up. So if you want to go watch everything, this is your place, okay? Headquarters Beercade, 114 2nd Avenue South downtown. Again, tonight the puck drops at 8. Tomorrow night the puck drops at 9:30 to close out the regular season. Back here on the DDC. Now, this is what we've done, D-Mace. We've loaded up the lines.
Okay.
And I'm going to let you – there's no particular order, okay? We've got no draft order.
Okay.
Just these people are locked in. Now, Kenny, David, Reno, Corey, and Herbert. I said 6. We've got 5 lines available. They're going to pick a position, and when they pick a position, that position is off the board, just like the draft. Not a player, just a position for the Titans' first pick. Wherever the first pick is, whether they move up, whether they move down, their first selection, it's that position. And if somebody nails it, which they will, somebody's going to get the position, right?
Oh, of course.
You will win tickets to see Bon Jovi at Bridgestone Arena Saturday night. So we've got your Saturday night plans. Okay, you'll be at Bridgestone taking in Bon Jovi. But somebody's got to nail the position, the first pick of the Titans. So I'm going to let you, in any random order, just bring up somebody, and Elijah's going to – he's already taken down their info. So whoever gets it right tonight, you'll get a call in the morning or from someone from our staff, from our very friendly staff, and tell you you're going to Bon Jovi on Saturday night. So you'll have to go pick up the tickets tomorrow during business hours. So I'm going to let you pick somebody.
A player or a caller?
Caller.
Caller.
Just bring somebody up.
Let's go Herbert.
All right, Herbert, you're first up. So whatever position you take, that position will be off the board.
Okay.
So what position will the Titans address with their first pick?
Receiver.
Wide receiver.
Yes, sir.
You feel good about that?
Yep. I feel like they're going to do it. I feel something's going to go on with A.J. Brown. I think they're going to go ahead and get a receiver.
Okay. Herbert, you are locked in. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I agree with Herbert. Obviously, that's what I said they would take with Jim Wyatt. And, of course, he's looking for a specific player, but I took a wide receiver. So, wide receivers off the board. I guess go on and X the lines out. Let's see. X them out there, Elijah, because these are the ones that are locked in. All right, pick another one.
Give me David.
David, you're up next.
All
wide
right,
receivers
yes, sir.
are off the board.
Yes, sir. We're going to go offensive line.
Okay, O-lineman. All right, so that is currently the favorite with the odds makers. You heard our interview with Alan Bell. Offensive lineman is indeed the favorite for the Titans to select. You feel good about that?
Feel great about it.
Okay. Thank you, David. You are locked in. Not surprised with the first two picks. Are you?
No, not at all.
In fact, I think that probably is one of those, I don't know. I would be more surprised if it was something other than an offensive lineman or wide receiver. But I keep reading things. Like I was reading Steve Weish. What was it? What was the quote? He said he talked with Liberty's coach, Hugh Freeze. Yeah, here's the quote. Andrew Siciliano tweeted this out from NFL Network, that Steve Weish had talked to Hugh Freeze, and Hugh Freeze told him, I usually have a good feeling on what team might draft a player of mine. And he said, I truly have no clue where Malik Willis is going tonight. But he did say going tonight, so he must feel good about him going in the first round. All right, pick another caller.
And with the 26th pick, Reno selects
Defensive line.
D-line. Okay.
D-line. Mr. Simmons going to need some company with Landry and the boys, so I think they go defensive line.
Okay. All right. Well,
Thanks for the fun night Saturday night, boys.
Oh, he feels good about it. Thank you, Reno. Tell you what, it's pretty. The experts say it's pretty healthy at that position. There's some good players to be had. Add Autry, Landry, and Simmons, and don't forget they're getting someone back too that we never really even saw last year. Really, what his potential is. Young man from Pittsburgh. Just saying. Okay. All right. Two more. Let's go.
All right. Let's go with Corey.
Okay. Well, I think I will go with the long shot and take the running back.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
I can't.
Everybody's in the room like in Vegas, like, oh.
I don't have the pull to do this, but I kind of feel like if this happens, like Corey deserves 4 tickets to Bon Jovi. But I don't have the power to do that. But Corey, I like where your head's at. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see what happens.
Let's see what happens, man. I'll tell you what, we'll have a great conversation tomorrow if it does happen. Man, is that going to be fun. All right, last one.
All right, and with the 26th pick, Kenny selects.
I really got the long pick. I'm going to have to go with cornerback.
Okay.
It was down to either kicker or cornerback. You can't have too many cornerbacks.
Okay. You said cornerback, not quarterback, right?
Right. Corner. Right.
Cornerback.
DB.
Okay. I like
Yes,
it. DB. There we go. DB.
DB.
Kenny, good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's not bad for the
No,
last
it's
pick.
not. It's not.
That's
I'm
not
surprised.
a bad pick at all.
I'm surprised someone didn't take that before Kenny.
Yeah, that's not a bad look. If you're drafting last, that's not a horrible selection.
No.
Okay, good luck to everybody. Thank you for your participation. Good timing. I like. And by the way, nice setups there, D-May. So it was well done. It's the theme tonight. We'll come back and we'll pick John Glennon's brain on what he thinks. Right. What he thinks indeed is going to happen. And then after that, we're going to get some flavor for about an hour or so on the teams picking before the Titans. What's going on in that market? What are they talking about? Picks right before the Titans that maybe could affect what the Titans do at 26. We'll come back. Hour number 2 of the DDC next.
Robby Stanley.
That one is by far my favorite.
Robby and Rexrode. Weekday mornings 6 to 10 on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
Finishing jobs on time, never being idle, and powerful equipment. Meade has the John Deere excavating equipment and the smart grade technology solutions for you and your business. Power your business with a new, used, or rented excavator and get the performance you expect and service you can rely on. Call us today for the equipment built as tough and reliable as you, or visit us at meadtractor.com. That's meadtractor.com.
What if you could be debt-free in 3 weeks? Hey, Willie Donick here. My friends at Loan Pronto are helping people do it every day. It's Loan Pronto's debt consolidation home refi, wiping out tens of thousands in credit card debt. Listen, your home's value is way up. You can refinance now, take money out to pay off all your credit cards, eliminate PMI charges, pay off personal loans, or other high-interest debt. One local couple had over $50,000 in credit card debt. Loan Pronto did a debt consolidation refi. And even though their mortgage rate went up a tad, they cut their monthly payments by $900. Why pay 20% interest when you can consolidate it to one low payment with a mortgage APR in the 3s? Homeowners who do it save an average of $800 a month. Do it now and even skip your next house payment altogether. That's what I call financial freedom. Call Loan Pronto now. 615-499-5780. That's 615-499-5780 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166-1781, subject to lender approval.
Golf fans, Pro Golf hits Nashville with the PGA Korn Ferry Tour Simmons Bank Open May 5th through the 8th, and you can win a VIP experience for 4 people. Text the word golf right now to 615-737-1025 to enter.
Smokeville Smoke Shop has been serving Hendersonville and Metro Nashville since 2015 and is committed to providing high-quality, hands-on, and personable customer service. Stop into Smokeville Smoke Shops in Hendersonville, Gallatin, Hermitage, and Goodlettsville to try any of their wide selection of locally sourced products and selection of top nationwide brands, including vapes, hookah, hand-blown glass, detox systems, e-juices, kratom products, leaf wraps, and much more. Visit Smokeville Smoke Shops today.
From the Hillside Medical Game Studios, WPRT-FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne.
Good morning. Morning.
Robby and Rexrode mornings from 6 to 10.
It's not bad. Might have to work on that. Not bad. It's a starting point.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
a Cromwell media station.
Live from the Game Nashville studios, it's time for Darren, Donick, and Chase. With hosts Darren McFarland, Willie Donick, and Chase McCabe. On Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game.
Second hour DDC on this gorgeous Thursday. Hope everybody's having a great day. Darren McFarland, Derek Mason with you. John Glennon, SI.com, NHL.com. He does it all, and he now joins us. Johnny, how we doing?
I'm doing well. Happy draft day to you guys.
Yes, happy draft day to you. Hopefully this show will be better than the movie. The movie sucked. But anyway,
Absolutely.
The movie was embarrassing. But anyway, by the way, Derek, it was pretty interesting. But one person on our text line said if Corey wins with the running back selection, that D-May should pay for 2 more tickets to Bon Jovi. So just a suggestion there. So just putting that out there.
Makes me think.
And you've thought about it, and no. There are people, Gator Tim, there was a couple of others that weighed in on our text line driven by WilsonCountyHunter.com, said, Can I win the Bon Jovi tickets if the Titans trade out of the first round? Because I think they're going to trade out of the first round. So I bring that up, John, to ask you, do you believe the Titans are selecting tonight?
I think that given their choice, given their preference, I believe they probably would not mind moving out of the first round. Obviously they don't have that second-round pick. They haven't had a lot of success in the last couple of years. You need a lot of new, fresh young bodies, so the more picks you can get, the better chances you have. The only issue, of course, is if you want to move out, somebody's got to move up. So, if there are other teams in the league that are trying to angle up for maybe a quarterback late in the first round or maybe one of those top receivers in the first round, maybe you have success there. But that, to me, is going to be the biggest challenge, is finding somebody that's desperate to get up to 26, I think.
Yeah, and I think that is the part that I think is going to hurt them is, one, there's several teams with multiple picks in the first round. So that will hurt them because they'll probably be, wanting to use one of them to move down. I think there's going to be too many suitors, right, to want to move down. Too many sellers, not enough buyers, probably, and that'll probably hurt the Titans.
I tend to think so also. It's one thing if you're sitting at 10 or 12 or 15, or obviously in the top 10, and you've got some really, really highly coveted players and players that teams are really specifically focused on, that they want to move up to and say, we got to get this guy. When you're at 26, to the Titans' credit, the reason they're at 26 is because they had a very good year. But the downside is, that there aren't teams that are desperate to get to number 26 necessarily in order to get their guy. Maybe it happens. Like I say, that there's a few quarterbacks in there, that maybe a team wants to slip in at the end of that first round and grab a quarterback or maybe a wide receiver too. But gonna be a challenge for John Robinson in that respect, I think.
We had a draft with the listeners, and all they had to do was pick the position that the Titans would address with their first pick whenever that first pick is made. No specifics on it has to be the first round. So if you were calling in and you were the first up, what position do you feel the strongest that they're going to address with their first pick?
If I say O-line, does that count as one position or two?
Yeah. No, it's one. There you go. That was
okay. Yeah, I'll go O-line because that gives me two options, either the guard or tackle. But that to me is the most needy area on this team. So that's where I think they'll go.
How scary is that for people to embrace? Because everybody's going to agree with you, right? But how scary is it to think that the first position they address is offensive lineman, considering the track record here of late?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, certainly, but there's one prevailing theory that the Titans should steer clear of that because they haven't had a good track record in the first two rounds. But unfortunately, I don't think that theory works. In fact, I think it goes in reverse. The fact that you haven't had success the last 2 years makes you more needy, at that position. And, I don't think you throw in the white towel and say we're never going to draft an O-line guy in the first or second round. They have had some proven hits with O-line guys, whether it's through the draft or whether it's through free agency over the years. So, I think there's some capable players. And, the one guy that all of a sudden comes to mind, as we're talking about O-line guys in the first round, and Zion Johnson, the guard out of Boston College, one of the things that I really like about him is that there are virtually no red flags whatsoever. There are no character issues. He's not coming from an FCS program trying to jump to the NFL level. He does everything very well. High character guy, and I think, maybe if you're the Titans and Zion Johnson is available, those have to be some kind of appealing traits, in addition to being somebody who's going to really help your football team. But somebody at this point on the offensive line who has virtually no risk whatsoever, who from whatever everyone says about him should be kind of a plug-and-play starter for, 5-10 years. So to me, that's kind of where I lean on my first-round picks of the time.
What school did you say, John, he played at?
I believe that is Boston College. Did I say differently?
No. You said it correctly.
Okay.
Look, this is why I'm asking you this. if they don't know if they don't have the goods on a kid from Boston College or Cincinnati, then we've got to really question some things going on, right? Because if John Robinson and Mike Vrabel don't have the skinny on anybody that played at Boston College or Cincinnati, something's gone terribly, terribly wrong.
You're absolutely right, because as we know, Mike Vrabel has watched Boston College for years with his son Tyler playing on the offensive line up there. His son Tyler roomed with Zion Johnson for 2 years. They play a similar offensive zone scheme in terms of blocking that the Titans do at Boston College. And I think if you just want one more tie, I believe the Titans strength and conditioning coach Frank Verano overlapped 1 year with Zion Johnson at Boston College. So, yeah, if there was ever a prospect the Titans knew inside and out, I would have to think it would be Zion Johnson.
We'll talk with John Glenn and SI.com. John, you brought up something very interesting about, this year's group. Well, you were talking about one player in particular. But I just look at this year's crop of draftees and moving forward. The character issue. Do you see now that these kids are so mindful? Now you're going to have your bunch or your few that are just going to do what they do and really don't matter if they, is caught on social media or whatnot. They're just doing knucklehead things. But for the most part, these young men are very conscious, especially when they realize they're draft eligible, very conscious on what they do and what's being seen from a character standpoint. Are you seeing that more?
I think so. Yeah, you look back a few years at the famous Laramie Tunsil moment, in the draft when certainly he didn't come into the league the way he wanted to. But, yeah, I think players now are being schooled earlier, realize just the significance of social media. Whereas, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, there wasn't as overwhelming amount of attention paid to it. But, yeah, you look at a guy like a Zion Johnson, for instance, and then, another guy that I'll go ahead and plug my own mock draft again. The third round pick I had for the Titans is Alec Pierce from Cincinnati. Another guy with what appears to be like a spotless character as well. And, that only adds, if you're a team thinking of, between one or two or 2 or 3 players and they're all about even maybe in talent, that's got to weigh heavily in your favor if you're not doing, as you say, the knucklehead things, whether it's off the field or on social media. That's going to give you a leg up on other prospects right there.
Now, when teams are drafted, I think there's 2 categories. There's a category of, hey, we need a lot. This is in this position, we need somebody ASAP to come in and start. And then you have other teams that are sort of like, yeah, there are a few players we can use, but we're not in the need category. We're just going to draft best available. Do you think the Titans fall more so in that latter where it's like, okay, there's not a dire need, but we can upgrade our roster with certain positions?
Yeah, I think when you're coming off a 12-5 season and the top seed in the AFC, I think it would be hard to say there are huge holes in this team that need to be filled. But that said, you're looking when we talked about the offensive line, you're looking right now at 2 spots that there are not guaranteed starters on that roster. So I think that for a 12-5 team, that's about as dire as you can get, needing to fill 2 starting spots on that O-line. And you talk about Dylan Radins as a possibility, but certainly he hasn't convinced that he is a starter yet. So, I don't think you can pencil him in there. And I think, there are some other positions too where you don't say the Titans are dire need, like at wide receiver. Obviously A.J. Brown is there. You would assume that Robert Woods is going to be healthy coming back, but you still need another guy in this day and age. You need another big-time receiver, especially given the fact that there are question marks about Robert Woods, coming off an ACL, 30 years old, natural to have some questions anyway. And, I think at tight end is another need. Again, is it a huge, glaring need? No, not necessarily. I mean, you've got Austin Hooper in there. You're bringing Swain back. But again, sort of like wide receiver in this day and age, you need another good option there. I think the Titans definitely need to have a tight end pick, say probably either in the third round or with one of those fourth-round picks.
Now, besides, their first-round pick, whether it be an offensive lineman, a receiver, someone on defense, where do you think they lean heavy throughout the draft moving forward after the first round? Do you think they lean heavy offense or do they lean heavy defense?
I think, you got to go with offense. You've got a defense that really was playing well last year, especially towards the end, really, dominant stretches. And you're bringing 10 out of 11 starters back. You're really in good shape, I think, defensively. So I think certainly those lower picks, the first round, the third round, probably even one of the fourth rounds, in my opinion, you've got to get an offensive line, a wide receiver, a tight end, maybe in three of those four picks. Now, once you get, a little bit deeper, then I could see maybe shoring up some spots on defense. There's some question marks at corner because of Caleb Farley's health. Again, if you're the Titans, you hope and assume he's going to come back full strength, but you don't know for sure yet. So I think you got to shore up there. And probably, linebacker, you lost some depth when you lost Rashaan Evans and Jayon Brown. You don't need a starter, but you could need to shore up that spot. And even at safety, Dane Cruikshank was a very valuable guy in that he did a lot of different things. He could play in the slot at times. He shut down tight ends pretty well, and obviously excellent on special teams. So, I think that's another later round pick, too, is maybe get a safety that can possibly fill some of those roles.
All right, last thing, John. Walked out of the arena with you the other night. The news is not great on UC Saros, even though there's not a lot of news. He's not going to be playing these final two games. He wasn't going to probably play anyway once they punch their ticket into the playoffs. David Reddy, Connor Ingram, John Hines said on our morning show today that each one's going to get a start in games 81 and 82. When asked about UC Saros, didn't really offer up anything. What's your gut feeling? Do you think they're going to have him available for first round of the playoffs, or do you think that this is something that they're probably going to end up playing with either Reddick or Ingram, or both?
Yeah, it was interesting. I was texting with Joe Rexrode this morning after he had John Hines on, and
Joe?
I noticed that. I know this guy. Yeah. He's like a good fella. But Rexrode he tweeted. First he said John Hines says hopeful in regards to UC Saros in the playoffs, and I thought, that sounds encouraging. And then I listened to the clip that came out. Listened to the full audio clip of Hines talking, and even though he did use that word hopeful, I didn't. My gut. It didn't sound, especially as optimistic as the word hopeful was. So, and again, that's probably, putting too much thought into it. But, again, my gut feeling is not a great one at this point. And, if he isn't able to play, boy, what a setback, obviously, because as you look at the, the Predators and their possibility of knocking off a higher seed, to me there were two things that really worked in their favor. One, very physical team. They're going to pound you for a series and maybe they wear you down. The other was UC Saros playing at that really, really elite level for a full series, and maybe stealing one there. So, obviously if he's not available, that is a significant setback in that regard.
John, really appreciate it as always. Thank you,
okay,
and
guys.
again, happy draft day, and we'll talk soon.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me, guys.
At Glennon Sports on Twitter, SI.com and NHL.com. Covers both the Titans and the Predators. We'll come back and discuss a little bit of that on the other side of the DDC, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Meshing journalism.
They are 2 scores behind you. The math says that increases your chances of winning.
With sports fandom.
I stayed up till 1:30 in the morning, just emotionally numb from Titans and Packers.
And sarcasm.
You guys are the worst.
Robby Stanley and Joe Rexrode are Robby and Rexrode. No duh. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Watch live on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube.
Don't miss the historic opening of Geodis Park on May 1st as Nashville SC comes home for the first time of the 2022 season. Become a season ticket member starting at only $357 to ensure you are there for the big day. Come on in and grab a seat at NashvilleSC.com/22ticks.
Finding the right person for the job isn't easy. Just ask someone who hired a lounge singer to be their office receptionist.
Hello, this is Mickey Marquis, and you've reached the office of Doug & Associates. Thank you very much. Catch me Tuesday nights at the Hotel Johnson. Hello?
But if you've got an insurance question, you can always count on your local Geico agent. They can bundle your policies, which could save you hundreds.
Doug & Associates, this is Mickey Marquis. Hello?
For expert help with all your insurance needs, visit geico.com/local today.
And now it's Geico's Motorcycle Rules of the Road. Avoid biking in the rain and never touch another person's bike.
Hey guys, look at these bikes. So shiny. Whoops. I'm gonna leave a note. Oh gosh, there's more.
And the rule to saving on motorcycle insurance is, in 15 minutes, Geico could save you 15% or more.
Hey, Robby Stanley here, and the NBA playoffs are rolling on, and you can make every game feel like Game 7 on FanDuel Sportsbook, an official partner of the NBA. Throughout the playoffs, all customers can place a no-sweat same-game parlay each week. You'll get up to $20 in free bets if you don't win. FanDuel has so many ways to play, and best of all, when you do win, you'll get paid faster than a fast break. I love my Miami Heat. They're off to a great start. I've got them going far in the Eastern Conference playoffs. Give me Jimmy Butler over on points. Give me Bam Adebayo over on rebounds as well. But you take it any way you want to take it. If you're new to FanDuel, just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app, sign up with promo code ROB to get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Once again, that promo code is ROB, and if you already have an account, you're all set to bet. Either way, you'll get up to $20 in free bets if your same-game parlay during the playoffs doesn't win. FanDuel Sportsbook, an official partner of the NBA. Must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. Refund issued is non-withdrawable free bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max free bet of $20 per week. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Got a gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789.
We've all heard the saying that a little can go a long way. This is especially true during the Big Paybacks 24-hour online giving event, helping support hundreds of local nonprofit organizations. From 6 p.m. on May 4th through 6 p.m. on May 5th, a gift as little as $10 could be boosted by cash prizes and help to make a big difference in the life-changing work of local nonprofits. Find out more at thebigpayback.org.
The city famous for its music is about to be overwhelmed by the Symphony of Speed. June 24th through 26th, Nashville Super Speedway will host an exciting weekend of NASCAR racing and entertainment featuring the Ally 400 Cup Series race, the Tennessee Lottery 250, and the Rackley Roofing 200. Tickets are going fast, so visit NashvilleSuperspeedway.com or call 866-RACE-TIX and brace yourself for some full-throttle fun.
It's time for the draft.
Welcome to the NFL Draft.
Join us at 3rd and Home in Germantown for Draft Night in Nashville Thursday, starting at 5.
You got that 4th round guy, 5th round guy, whatever, but I need 4 guys I can count on.
Presented by Apple Collision Centers, Social Furniture, Farm Bureau Health Plans, and the Nashville Sheriff.
On ESPN
102.5 and 106.3 The Game, and the Game Nashville app. Interact with Darren, Donick, and Chase. Call or text the show at 615-737-1025. Driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
Right now, Juice is, he's still getting evaluated basically on how we're going to, what his time frame is going to be. We're hopeful, but I think at this point in time, it's important for him to get a little bit of rest, let the things settle down, and then, see where he goes from here over the next few days.
So is the plan for Riddick to go tonight against Colorado? Are you going to split him and Ingram the next couple of days? Have y'all figured out kind of what's going to happen on that regard yet?
Yes, we will split them. I think it's important for David for sure to get in and play again, and it's also going to be important, I think, for Connor Ingram to be able to come in. He played well when he was up here before. He's done really well in Milwaukee, but I think coming in and getting some game action versus some NHL shooters, NHL game speed, those types of things would be important for him too.
There you go, split them just like in Vegas where the draft is. You got a king and a queen. Derek, dealer's got a 6, man, split those suckers.
There you go.
Split them. All right, that was head coach John Hines this morning on Robby and Rexrode. Now, again, we're just talking about it. Just like John did. All we can do is just, I listened to it live. I wanted to hear that again. Second go around. What did you make of what he said about UC Saros? I just want your gut feeling.
He's not playing.
Games
that's my
81
gut.
and 82, I agree with you. He is not. In fact, I guarantee
no, I don't think he's going to be. I think they hope that they can get the series to go 7 because there would be a possibility he would be back. Or even getting to the next round, then the possibility of him playing goes up even higher. But at this point, judging by how he answered the question, he doesn't know. And it's leaning more so of they are, what is the old saying, preparing for the worst but hoping for the best?
Yes.
I think that's what they're doing. They're preparing for worst case scenario, which he may not play in the first round, but they're hoping if they can push it further enough or even get into the second round, he will be ready. What he said didn't seem to, I mean, listen, you can take it either way, but typically when a coach says something like that, you know, the likelihood of the guy playing is very slim. Now, if they get past the first round, then you reevaluate it and, you go from there.
Now.
I don't think my gut says no.
Play that first part again, Elijah Campbell. The first part about UC Saros.
Right now, Juice is. I mean, he's still getting evaluated basically on how we're gonna, what his time frame is going to be. We're hopeful, but I think at this point in time, it's important for him to get a little bit of rest, let the things settle down, and then see where he goes from here over the next few days.
Okay, again, just
They're
because
still evaluating
and let things settle down. So,
exactly.
Look, all I can do is from my experiences, and Lord knows my body is a lemon. Okay, it is broken down from walking the steps coming out of the SEC basketball tournament to doing a jump squats with 10-year-olds to throwing a pitch and coach pitch to just you name it. I've had some of the silliest stuff and ankles and knees and backs and shoulder. It's all happened. Flag football, dislocated shoulder. I mean, I'm certainly not an expert, but I've gone through it all. When you say settle things down, let things settle down. I mean, it's lower body. I mean, this is not groundbreaking news. They've already said it's lower body. We all saw it. We know it's lower body. I suspect it's when you hear that from the coach, isn't that a knee or an ankle?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I will say this. I've never, and you tell me if you've had this. I've never had the groin, the hamstring. I haven't really dealt with any of that stuff. That's because I was so slow, my body said, you can't even hurt that part. You're so slow, you can't hurt your groin or your hamstring. Well, have you?
Now, a hamstring wouldn't cause you to not. Now, it may be different because he's on skates. So you got to take that into factor.
I'm just saying, with the way he described it, those injuries don't sound.
It doesn't seem like a hamstring or a groin issue. It is a groin issue, but it's not a groin issue. Get it? Groin issue. I got it. It makes it seem as if it's something other than the groin or the hamstring, and they're waiting for things to settle down, meaning the swelling to go down, and try to reevaluate it from there. You got the weekend to allow the swelling to go down, and then you could take the MRI. And really see, is there any structural damage?
That's what I was thinking because I've gone through all that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Right. And you have to settle and let the swelling go down, and then that's just me going through the steps of what I've gone through in life, not being a doctor, not playing one on the radio.
Just basing it on your experiences.
Although I've tried to play one on the radio because of my experiences, and when I hear that, I'm just being honest. That was my initial thoughts of to me, it felt like listening to the head coach's words sounds like swelling with a knee or an ankle.
Mm-hmm. That's why, to me, just listening to it, they are preparing for the worst. But you still want to have hope that, okay, if we can extend the series or get into the second round, then he may be available. But I would be surprised if he's ready to go game 1 of the playoffs.
Viking Matt on our text line, driven by Wilson County Hyundai.com, says, D-Mace, keep that negativity to yourself. Come on, man. Why is D-Mace so negative? I love the show, but Derek's so dang negative.
Honesty. If honesty equates to negativity, then I guess I'm going to be negative.
Guilty as charged,
exactly. Right? And we can't paint everything rosy around here. You just got to call it how it is and what you may think. And I hope that's not the case. I really do.
You're just being honest.
And just being honest.
I asked you to be honest, and you're being honest.
But there was some optimism saying if they push it to 7 or get into the second round, then you reevaluate it, and there may be a possibility that he plays.
Guys, I love the show, but why is D-Mace so dang negative? We'll come back. We'll head out to Arizona. What are the Cardinals thinking? They're picking right before the Titans. We'll find out next.
Do you want to help the families of soldiers who gave the ultimate sacrifice? Then join ESPN 102.5 and 106.3 The Game for the Music City Celebrity Golf Tournament, benefiting Folds of Honor, May 16th at Hermitage Golf Course. Put your team together and come play with athletes, musicians, and other local celebs to support a great cause. Sign up or donate at theGameNashville.com/golf.
This is Chef John from Kitchen Notes at the Omni Nashville. Inviting you to come join us for breakfast and lunch. We are offering some exciting new menu items. For breakfast, we have a smoked prime rib hash. Comes with a sunny side up egg, hominy, caramelized onions. It's a great start to your day. We are featuring a sourdough pancake made with a sourdough bread starter. It's a fun spin on the classic buttermilk pancake. As always, Kitchen Notes is serving biscuits all day. Come join us and create a memorable experience here at the Omni Hotel. Food is all about memories for us. We'd like you to start a new memory here at Kitchen Notes in the Omni Hotel.
Breakfast at Kitchen Notes in the Omni Nashville Hotel. Don't forget to grab your mom something special this year. Shop at Social Furniture for their Mother's Day sale, where everything is in stock. They have sofas, bedroom sets, and top-name brand new mattresses like Purple, Serta, Sealy, and Simmons on sale now. Running out of time? Well, at Social Furniture, there's no waiting and same-day delivery. Use Social Furniture's financing plan and pay no interest for 1 full year. Shop at Social Furniture today on Charlotte Avenue in West Nashville. Shop local. Shop social. Social Furniture is a proud supporter of your Nashville Predators.
Parman Tractor and Equipment is your one-stop tractor and equipment solution, and Middle Tennessee's Link Belt and Takeuchi dealer. Rent or purchase a track loader, mini excavator, large excavators for your job site, or something in between. Parman is now hiring and seeking qualified candidates for construction equipment truck drivers, service technicians, and more. Apply at ParmanTractor.com or call 615-865-7800. Come be an employee owner with the Parman team, your Middle Tennessee Link Belt and Takeuchi dealer. Sheet Metal Workers Local 177 is looking for the next great skilled construction tradesman out there. Are you unhappy with your current situation and seeking a better opportunity? If you have prior years of experience and are getting overlooked, it's time to advance your career and start your journey with Smart Local 177. They offer great benefits and job opportunities that are waiting for you. Further your career in the construction trade industry at sheetmetal177.com or call 615-292-0587. An equal opportunity employer.
Mom, haven't you heard that commercial where the guy says your ride is here?
I can't afford a new car, honey.
But Mom, he said he'll finance anyone on any car. This car is embarrassing.
Yeah, well, I don't trust car dealers.
Mom, Franklin Motors has been in business since 1987. Let's stop in for a test drive.
All right, wise guy. Let's go.
Franklin Motors, the choice is clear. Franklin Motors,
Your ride
ride is here.
FranklinMotorsTN.com or come on by for a test drive.
How do you make the most of your land? Everyone has their way. The Nelsons depend on their John Deere Gator XUV 835R to get
from point A to point B with decoys and the dogs.
As much as we got going on, it's all about efficiency.
And if you ask the Mosers what they use their Gator XUV 590M for, they tell you.
The most fun we have on the Gator is just ripping around the property.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. Learn how to make the most of yours at Deere.com. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Hey, Nashville, this is Eli Gold, voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide, and you're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Thank you, Eli. We agree. Back here on the DDC on this gorgeous Thursday here in Nashville. Darren McFarland, Derek Mason with you. Titans pick at 26. The team 3 picks before them, the Arizona Cardinals. Let's head out to that area. Let's bring in Bob McManaman, who covers the Cardinals for the Arizona Republic. Bob, how you doing?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
So the Cardinals are taking a quarterback, right? I mean, that's just a given. They're for sure taking a quarterback. Let's, in all seriousness,
put that out there. It wasn't me.
Let's, in all seriousness, before we get into that, but what has it been like out there with? I mean, we certainly have been talking a lot about A.J. Brown. He scrubbed himself of the Titans on social media. Kyler scrubbed himself of Arizona on social media. What has been the chatter out there about Kyler wanting a new deal?
Oh, it's alive and well, and he's going to get it, and he's going to get it from the Cardinals. It's just he wanted it right away, and his agent made it public and went public with it, and it got pretty crazy, and it has since died down. The team picked up his 5th-year option yesterday, which we knew that was going to happen.
Yep.
And then Kyler has been responding like a franchise quarterback should, saying all the right things lately after being quiet and a lot of strange things going back and forth. But he's now saying, hey, I'm a Cardinal. I want to win Super Bowls in Arizona. AZ is home. Everything you want your franchise quarterback to say. So I think he's come to the realization, look, this is how we do business with the Cardinals. We do free agency, we do the draft, and then we sign our long-term deal with our franchise quarterback. That's how they've always done it, and they're not going to change for Kyler or Kevin Burkhardt. And they haven't, and it's going to get done. It'll get done before the start of the season. There's no doubt in my mind about it.
I believe he was drafted here in Nashville, was he not? I think that was
he was
the first pick in the draft right here. And I probably think that when that happened, it was D. Mason when we were down there. It was probably a rainy Nashville, right? That first night, it was a little bit rainy.
I was not in Nashville. We sent a columnist there, but I was at draft headquarters to handle the GM and the coach, and talked to Kyler over the phone until they flew him out, and we talked to him. I believe it was the next day or Saturday. So,
what type of money do you think ultimately? I mean, we're watching the quarterback market and the wide receiver market, kind of like the housing market in Nashville. It just keeps going up, and up.
Too.
Yeah. So what do you think? What kind of number? How big is it going to be? Hundreds of millions, but how much, in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, on the average, it's going to be $40 to $45 million a year is what he's seeking, and he's going to get a lot of guaranteed money and a lot of it up front to help facilitate the salary cap over the next several years. So they knew this moment was coming. They're prepared for it. I think they were kind of hoping they could squeeze one more year out of him, like a Lamar or Baker Mayfield situation, without it getting too tenuous. But they saw that this it was going to get way too tenuous. So they're going to have to be creative, but they have ways to do that. And they've got a lot of contracts off the books next year. That's going to help them. But there's maneuverability. There always is when you're talking about these big deals. But it's going to be like Josh Allen money. I think that's fair. I think Josh did more. I think Lamar's done more to deserve even more. But, you can't argue that Kyler's a generational talent. He hasn't won a playoff game, no, but he's been in 2 Pro Bowls, and he was Rookie of the Year. And the talent is obviously there. They just want him to do some things better in terms of leadership and communication. But everything else is there. Nobody works harder. He's a competitive kid, but he's going to get his.
We're trying to figure out. So we're starting with you. Next hour, we're going to go to Dallas and Buffalo. These are the 3 picks before the Titans selected 26. We're just trying to get a feel, a vibe of what's being discussed, maybe where those teams' heads are. So with all that being said, what is being discussed? Where do you think Arizona is leaning right now as we sit here at pick 23?
I mean, it really is going to depend on what Green Bay does at 22. I think they're going to get a receiver. That won't preclude the Cardinals from getting one. They want one in the worst of ways to become their number 2 to Hopkins eventually, if not this year. So you're looking at edge rusher and you're looking at wide receiver. And the picks there, the 2 guys I have possibly being available is George Karlaftis, the edge rusher from Purdue, and Treylon Burks, the receiver from Arkansas. And if either one of those are there, I think one of those will be the pick.
We're talking with Bob McManaman, Arizona Republic. Now, is there a possibility that because if Treylon Burks get drafted ahead of Arizona, whether it's Green Bay or some other team, and that receiver's not there, can you see them moving out of the first round?
Yeah, I can see them moving up in the first round. When Steve Keim told us the importance, and you mentioned the receivers and the paydays that these elite guys are getting, and if you can draft one to save yourself money for the first 5 years, do it. And especially if you know he's going to be that guy for you. There's no sense in not picking him. And if they really like the guy, they'll move up 4, 5, 6 spots to do it. I don't think they're going to move back. I wouldn't blame them if they did, if those guys are all gone. But they said they have 25, 26 first-round grades, so one of their guys is going to be there. And that's a little high for me. Most of the guys I've been talking to around the league, the word of scuttlebutt is there's 16 to 18 first-round grades of can't-miss guys. Everything else is a crazy draft. One of the most strangest and unpredictable maybe in the last 10, 20, 30 years. But I think that if anything, the Cardinals would trade up to get that receiver, whether it's Olave, who's soaring up draft boards. You just never know until tonight. Burks is a guy they really like, but I think a guy like Dotson could be there. And there's a guy with killer speed, but I just really like Burks. And I like Christian Watson, too. I don't know what Dakota State. I think he could be a surprise pick.
Now, how far are they from, they started off hot last year, fizzled out. Obviously, the quarterback gets hurt. But the NFC West just keeps getting stacked. Other than Seattle, San Francisco and the Rams obviously are tough teams. Where are they in the pecking order of the NFC West?
Yeah, they think they're right there. And they think they're the team that was 7-0 and 10-2, and that's the reason for the foundation of re-signing their own free agents instead of spending a crap load on other people's free agents. They decided we are that team that started the first half of the year as hot as we did, and that's why we're going to re-sign our own free agents. And I don't mind that at all. I think that's reasonably sound strategy. They picked up just enough to fill all the holes where else they were lacking, so they could go into this draft without having to have a need, which nobody wants to go into a draft. I need to get a guy here. I need to get a guy there. You want all those problems situated more than not. You go into a draft and you can really play it and let the board fall to you instead of having to make a drastic move. So they think they're right in that mix. I don't know if they're Super Bowl contenders, but they're certainly a playoff contender with what they have, what they brought back, and what they've added and what they're going to add.
Bob, it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out starting tonight. Thanks so much for the visit and the insights, and we'll talk to you down the road.
All right. Good luck with your guys' draft. Bye.
All right. Same to you, Bob McManaman. Arizona Republic covering the Cardinals. So there you go. 3 picks before the Titans. Did he say that they would like to get a number 2 receiver? So we know they lost Christian Kirk, A.J. Green,
I mean, he still has something left in him.
He
had almost 1,000 yards.
It wasn't bad last year.
Obviously, he's not the A.J. Green of years past.
He needs
but
to be a 3, right?
He's still, to me, he's still a really good 2, but he's not a 2 that can be thrust into one position anymore. And I think that's what they were trying to do because of Hopkins going down. They were trying to make him the number 1 because of where he was drafted, the success he has had in prior years, but he's just not that AJ Green that he once was.
Elliot Friedman will join us at 1 o'clock, so we'll get into all the Predators stuff and hockey news with him as everybody's winding down their regular season, and the playoffs will begin next week. We'll also go to Dallas and Buffalo in the next hour to find out what those markets are thinking. Those are the pick before and the second pick before the Titans select at 26. We'll come back wrap up hour number 2 of the DDC next.
Jump in the mind of an NHL veteran as Predators analyst Hal Gill joins Stillman Company Tuesday afternoons at 5:30.
Here they are in a pressure situation every night because they need 2 points.
And Robby and Rexrode Thursday mornings at 9:30.
Goaltending, I think it might be an issue at some point.
Presented by Duncan on Smashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
From the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
I'm Fox 17 News Code Red meteorologist Dan Guthrie. Lots of sunshine for the rest of the morning and into the early afternoon before clouds will start to roll in. Still going to be a warm one, though, with a high of 79 degrees.
This weather report brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Smokeville Smoke Shop has been serving Hendersonville and Metro Nashville since 2015 and is committed to providing high-quality, hands-on, and personable customer service. Stop into Smokeville Smoke Shops in Hendersonville, Gallatin, Hermitage, and Goodlettsville to try any of their wide selection of locally sourced products and selection of top nationwide brands, including vapes, hookah, hand-blown glass, detox systems, e-juices, kratom products, leaf wraps, and much more. Visit Smokeville Smoke Shops today.
Do I need Medicare when I turn 65, or can I wait?
With more than 70 years of experience helping Tennesseans, Farm Bureau Health Plans can answer all your questions about Medicare.
Part A, B, C, D, it's all alphabet soup to me.
So if you're looking for an affordable way to cover the gaps left by Medicare or protection from the high cost of prescription drugs, you can plan on us to make it easy. Find out more at fbhp.com. Farm Bureau Health Plans. Plan on us.
Family Leisure invites you to vacation at home with a new spa, pool, patio furniture, or wood play gym this summer.
I really want a spa.
40 spas on display from Artesian, Best Spas, and American Select.
Prices starting as low as $29.99.
Family Leisure has over 100 sets of patio furniture with free delivery.
That sounds good to me, too.
We should really look at the wood play gyms for the kids. Family Leisure has the Diamond Point swing set on sale at only $24.99 installed. Family Leisure's vacation at home sale in Franklin and Antioch.
At Copper Branch, they live life to the fullest. Food is your energy and your life. Located in the heart of downtown Nashville, their goal is to serve you, your friends, and family quality, great-tasting, plant-based power foods. Visit Copper Branch at 601 Church Street for breakfast, lunch, and dinner with convenient and validated parking during library hours, and download their app for curbside pickup. Or come out for songwriter and live music nights several times throughout the week to empower, energize, and feel your best. Visit Copper Branch today.
This is Stan Harrison, CEO of Apple Collision Centers. We understand that no one likes to deal with auto body repair and the inconvenience it becomes in your day-to-day life. I want to personally invite you to stop by and let our experienced staff see how we can help you make your vehicle look good as new. Apple Collision Center has 3 convenient locations, Old Hickory, Hendersonville, and Gallatin, ready to serve you. Come by and see us or visit us online at applecollisioncenters.com.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Charles Barkley in a pickup game.
We'll take Barkley.
Ha! First pick. Sorry, kids. Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision?
Okay, here's the plan. Pass me the ball every time.
This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like the course keeps changing right before your eyes. And in order to maneuver it, you need an expert by your side. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the Windows PC and tech solutions you need to help you get out in front and stay ahead of the game. Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL. A start to a simpler experience with Windows 11 Pro.
If you've missed any of today's show, just search Darren, Donick, and Chase on Apple, Spotify, or on your favorite podcast platform.
We've got draft coverage here on these airwaves. Remember, some of it is going to shift with the Titans coverage, or with the Predators coverage, excuse me. But the draft coverage will start at 5 p.m. tonight and tomorrow. And that's presented by Social Furniture, Apple Collision Centers, Farm Bureau Health Plans, and the Nashville Sheriff. So tonight's location will be Third and Home. It's going to be a lot of fun. Third and Home's a great place to hang. And then tomorrow night it'll be 312 Pizza Company in Germantown, which I haven't been to yet, but I've also heard is a great place to hang, which I love deep dish pizza, so I would love to be there at 312.
God, sounds so good. I got a taste for pizza right now.
Can't we do a show there? Golly. Man. By the way, you can also watch our coverage, just as important, tonight and tomorrow on the game's Twitch, Facebook page, YouTube, and Twitter. So it'll be more great coverage here on these airwaves tonight surrounding the draft. So on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHunting.com, Nate has asked a pretty good question. What is Darren better at, figuring out goalie interference or injury prognosis? It's like 50-50 with both, so I don't think those are really great odds. So probably neither. You know?
I would lean more toward the injury.
You think?
Yeah, the injury situation, because you've had your share of injuries.
Yeah, I would do a slight lean to injury.
Yeah, you've had your share, man. So, you're not, UC as far as athletic and everything else, but hey, you've had your share. I'll throw you in the net for 2 minutes.
Okay, all right. Here's a good one from John the Mailman. He said, "Stop being negative. That was coming from a Vikings fan? That's hilarious." Here we go. Former athletic trainer. No name attached to this. Former athletic trainer here. I would guess groin. Settle down equals muscle guarding in area. Knee or ankle, it didn't seem like he got hit. I told you, I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I've got a lot of knee and less ankle stories, but I've certainly got knee and ankle stories. I don't have any groin stories. So I admitted that on the front end. Hamstring and groin, I kind of left that up to you as a former wide receiver. But, I mean, I feel like we're covering the bases. Like, it's got to be one of those, right? I mean, it's got to be.
Yeah. And the groin situation, it's different because for me, 2 different sports. If I had a groin injury, excuse me, in football, I'm still walking off. No matter, unless it's just completely torn. I'm still walking off. It might be gingerly, but I'm not trying to take weight off my leg with my leg bent.
And by the way, can I interject for just a second? For everybody I think the biggest misnomer about ACLs is, he couldn't walk off on his own, so it's got to be ACL. I'm living proof. I'm walking around right now. Torn ACL. I haven't fixed it.
Well,
I don't have any plans right now.
Didn't Robert Woods get on here? He got on and say, listen, I finished practice.
Yes.
And didn't find out until, we went in and evaluated it that it was it was an ACL.
Yes.
And so
players have played through torn ACLs. if they're in a playoff scenario, they've played through it. So I think the biggest misnomer is, if he wasn't walking, he had a hard time. It's got to be ACL. Actually,
and then
that's
if
just
it's
like you can actually walk. I mean, I did mine. The latest was a jump squat in practice. That was at the beginning of practice. We were doing an exercise of getting warmed up. Boy, look how warmed up I got, huh? So, in other words, we practiced another almost 2 hours after that. Now, I was in a lot of pain. I knew something was terribly wrong, but, I mean, you can still get around and, So that I just want people to know, like, that people think when, they're out, they got to be carted off, then it's got to be torn ACL. Actually, no. You can – it's quite the opposite.
That's why it's so hard to figure out what exactly – it was, because, again, in other sports, you have the stability of walking, flat on your feet. And I haven't had it torn groin and anything, but I've had it where it's bothered me, and I didn't want to bend my leg. I didn't want to, because to me it was contracting. When I bent my leg, then if I felt it all, in my groin area, so I would keep it straight and walk and sort of gingerly walk off. Well, I did gingerly walk off, but in hockey it's different because you're on skates, and so it could be a groin, it could be a knee, it could be an ankle. We just don't know. So that's why, when you asked me the question first, I'm like, it's a knee, but I wouldn't rule out a groin because it's just the sport is different. He's trying to get off of the ice on skates. So anything lower body could bother him. So, the anonymous trainer could be right.
The anonymous trainer, yeah. I mean, I don't know, but it didn't. I didn't get a great feeling. Listening
Either
to John
way,
Hines. It did, because it's not like in the NFL situation where it's like, okay, they're the number one seed, so they get them. So there's this week they're off. He's not going to play the final week of the regular season. Then they get a bye week, and gosh, that's almost 3 weeks, right? Like that's not the situation. They're going to be starting the playoffs next week.
Well, if it's a groin,
Monday or Tuesday.
If it's a groin, Darren, and it's that significant that they have to wait till it settle and wait for it to settle down, I'm not sure he's coming back. That would make me lean even more heavy to him not being there at least for the first round.
Well, especially that position.
Exactly.
Right? Especially the way UC Saros plays.
That position is all about flexibility and, being able to go side to side, and it's more side to side movement than anything else. So you're pushing off your inner thigh groin area a lot.
Scott from Shelbyville on our text line, driven by Wilson County Hyundai.com. Just texting to express my utter dismay and disappointment that Darren has lived here this long and has not been to 312 Pizza yet. I'm with you, Scott. I
haven't been either.
Hint, the deep dish Chicago-style pizza is very good. Oh, I know that. Chew thoroughly, good tip. Very cheesy, yes, agreed. Takes about an hour for them to fix one. Snack before you go.
Wow, that long?
I do not snack before I go because I want an empty tummy.
Yes,
I want to be able to
for
just
pizza?
Go to town. Oh yeah,
man, goodness.
Yep.
Man.
So Scott, I'm with you. That's fair criticism, fair disappointment, fair dismay. I'm disappointed in myself. Okay.
Are you going to put yourself on the list for not going?
Well, I don't know if I'm going to put myself on the list. I mean, I guess I could control that and fix that. Maybe we could get Sue to get us a remote there at 312 Pizza Company.
Hey, the Sue came in here earlier. He gave me, he had to give me something. So
Did you guys do that when he came in? Sue.
I didn't say that. I'm pretty sure he heard us say it.
Well, what did he have to give you?
Oh, he gave me a shirt. He gave me a shirt.
It wasn't 312 Pizza.
He gave me a shirt that I will be sporting. I will be rocking later as we cover the draft.
Okay.
TD, Chris, And Jarrett.
Well, speaking of Chris.
5 o'clock.
Buddy, there's just me text line. Also driven by WilsonCountyHunter.com.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "You did jump squats?" ? That scares me. Well, thanks, Chris. Well, it scares me now too because I tore my ACL doing them. Okay.
I didn't really.
By the way, first one, pop.
Wow, dude, your first one?
First one.
Wow.
It's pathetic.
Wow, man. You
Go
must
on and say
you
it.
must
You got something to say.
You must not have stretched in like 20 years or something.
I can neither confirm nor deny those accusations.
Your stretching consists of getting out of the bed and just yawning like, there we go.
Walking to the refrigerator isn't a stretch? No?
No,
well,
that's
if you're going
not
to put it in those terms, then no, probably I haven't.
Oh, my goodness. The very first jump squat, you blew your knee out.
First one, just pop. Gosh. I'm like, oh, that was not good. Not good. Problems. Houston, got a problem.
Man.
Disappointed.
I am
with
too.
the theme of Scott's text. Disappointed and dismay. You know? One jump squat, torn ACL. We'll come back. We'll get previews from Dallas and Buffalo. Boy, I sure would like some 312 pizza, but not on the menu. Not for today. We'll fix that soon, though. We will. But let's find out what they're thinking. Cowboys, Bills, right before the Titans pick. We'll do that to start the third hour. That's next.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
Trying to find a new home right now is next to impossible. Very little inventory, prices are crazy high, rates are moving up. Here's a better idea. Let my friends at Loan Pronto refinance your current home, turn all that equity you have into cash, and totally transform your house. A new kitchen, new bathroom, a pool. Think about it. Your home value is up. Instead of wasting all that on an overpriced new house, convert that equity into cash for a home makeover. One local couple did it and got $200,000 out. They added new hardwoods, an outdoor living space, a swimming pool with spa and all new cabinets and appliances, plus a home office. Now they have their dream home, and they never had to move. Call Loan Pronto. Ask about their home improvement refi. Give your home a total makeover and do it now. You can even skip your next house payment in the process. Call now, 615-499-5780. That's 615-499-5780 or loanpronto.com. 615-499-5780. Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval.
Hey, y'all, it's Caroline Fenton, and I want to tell you about my friends over at 312 Pizza Company. 312 Pizza is my favorite place in town. It's family-owned and operated, bringing you a slice of Chicago to Nashville. 312 Pizza Company specializes in deep dish pizza, thin crust pizza, and all things Chicago style, always made from scratch using secret family recipes passed down generation to generation. 312 Pizza is open every day except for Tuesday and is located in Germantown with dine-in, takeout, and curbside available. Call 615-730-7888 or head to 312pizzaco.com to order 312 Pizza Company, Nashville's authentic Chicago pizzeria.
Erectile dysfunction ruins sex, but it's more than that. It harms otherwise good relationships. It destroys marriages. It can cause depression and anxiety, and it can be extremely hard on a man's self-esteem. This is Kim for the Tennessee Men's Clinic. And if you're suffering with ED, if it's affecting you, I want you to know that if you're like most men, we can treat it and get you back to the man you used to be. At the Tennessee Men's Clinic, we're ED experts. Our protocols have success rates as high as 90%. We've successfully treated thousands of men in the Music City, and we have a variety of treatment options and treatment combinations that could have you performing like you haven't in years. You could even last up to an hour and experience great sex again that is satisfying for both you and your partner. In treating your health, expertise matters, so make an appointment today. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. Call 615-208-9090 or go to TennesseeMen'sClinic.com. Visit our website to learn more, including side effects. Treatments extra. Results vary.
From the Hillside Medical Game Studios, WPRT-FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne, broadcasting 97.5 Murfreesboro, 106.3 Williamson County.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
A Cromwell media station.
Live from the Game Nashville studios, it's time for Darren, Donick, and Chase. With hosts Darren McFarland, Willie Donick, and Chase McCabe. on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game.
Third hour, Darren Donick, Jace, here on this Thursday afternoon. Darren McFarland, Derek Mason with you. Let's go down to Big D. Let's find out exactly what the Cowboys are thinking. A couple selections before the Titans pick at 26, if indeed they pick at 26. Rep Epstein is on the line with us, covers the Cowboys for USA Today. Thank you for joining us. Jory, what is Dallas thinking there at 24?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me today. And what is any team thinking? What a bold question.
No
for any
kidding.
of us to try and speculate on a week like this, right? But,
this is a dartboard draft, isn't it?
It really is. And it's interesting. The Cowboys are at 24. We talked with Cowboys owner and general manager Jerry Jones, Vice President Stephen Jones, and head coach Mike McCarthy on Tuesday. And they told us a couple interesting things. One, they kept insisting, despite what we might think, that they have no musts in terms of position. And two, they said that they have about 14 to 16 first-round grades on players this year, which is less than usual, and obviously quite before they pick at 24. So while I think they could drastically use an offensive lineman, they could use a receiver in the first few rounds, before long a tight end, a pass rusher, they say that it will really depend. And I think also they've been mocking all these crazy scenarios this week in large part because in a weird quarterback year like this, and in a year where there are so many teams with multiple first-round picks, every team, especially picking in the 20s, doesn't know what's going to happen around them. And so, as cliche as it sounds, they really do have to be ready for all possibilities.
What has been the chatter this offseason? There's been a lot of chatter in this market, and unfortunately it's been more about Ryan Tannehill and his play to end their season last year in the playoff game, and A.J. Brown, what's going on with that? And then what the heck they're going to do starting tonight. What's been the chatter in Dallas?
Yeah, I would say the biggest chatter is, and first of all, you have a lot of angry fans that the Cowboys aren't doing more in free agency. You have an owner like Jerry who says, if I could write the biggest check to win the Super Bowl, I would. And then free agency comes around and no checks are being written. Two key players that they let walk or were traded is receiver Amari Cooper, four-time Pro Bowler. They traded him and his $22 million cap hit to the Cleveland Browns right before free agency started. And then pass rusher Randy Gregory, they allowed to sign with the Denver Broncos. And now the front office is trying to convince fans that the other players they have, they're like, well, we got two defensive ends with the money we would have paid with Randy with, as if every player has the exact same talent caliber. So you have a lot of fans angry about the receiver situation, angry about the pass rusher situation, and believing that this team is depending a little bit too much on coordinator Dan Quinn to just elevate the defensive talent, which I do believe he can, but at some point you got to give guys the pieces to succeed as well. But also, first offseason in about 3 years that Dak Prescott in his future at quarterback with the Cowboys is not dominating the market. So that is a market change this year.
Yeah, interesting. So how big of a loss is Amari Cooper? And as you've already been talking about, it's very clear they're going to try to address that, right, this weekend, that position. But how big of a loss is Cooper?
It is a big loss. I mean, look, he's a really talented player and one of the best route runners in the league. And he also was a veteran who both was able to play at such a high level and really made it a point to teach some of the younger guys like CeeDee Lamb what he knew. And now it's really going to be on CeeDee to step up. I mean, they do still have CeeDee Lamb. They re-signed Michael Gallup. Gallup is coming off an ACL tear and expected to be ready by roughly the third week of the season. And then I would expect them to draft someone else who has a chance to be that third receiver pretty handily. But I think it's a big loss. I think that you really need to make sure that Dak, now that he's got a healthy offseason, has the chemistry with the receivers who are still around, and not just expect Kellen Moore, who's who's had a productive offense but not the most efficient one in some years, to be able to immediately replicate what Amari had.
We'll talk with Jory Epstein, USA Today, discussing the Dallas Cowboys. They picked a couple of spots before the Tennessee Titans, and obviously they're in the need for a receiver as well as the Tennessee Titans. You know, I was watching an interview, and you may have seen the interview as well, Jory, with the owner, his son, and then Mike McCarthy in the middle. He just seemed really awkward sitting in the middle amongst these two dudes. And with that being said, how much pull does he have, Mike McCarthy, the head coach, when it comes to drafting this upcoming, starting today?
Yes, I saw it, and I didn't just see it online. I was there for it in the second row of that interview. So saw it with my own two eyes in person, asked them some questions. Mike McCarthy has told they have made such an emphasis in aligning their coaching and personnel staff, which is not particularly new to the Cowboys under Jerry's tenure, but it is new for Mike McCarthy relative to what he had in Green Bay when personnel and coaching were pretty separate. I think that something I would tell you is when you look at Jason Garrett's tenure here, they were picking left tackle Tyron Smith in the first round, center Travis Frederick, right guard Zach Martin, all of whom have gone on to be great players. But there really was we need this position, we're going to address it, and that's that. The last 2 years, nobody thought they were going CeeDee Lamb at 17 receiver 2 years ago, and nobody thought they were going Micah Parsons last year, not even Micah. And both of those players have gone on to Pro Bowls already in their first 2 years and really become impact cornerstones. So I think that Mike McCarthy has impacted that, and I think that while some of his coaching decisions during the season you might have reasons to question, I think that his role in the draft room in terms of reminding them how important best player available is, even if the position you need might have a similarly helpful guy, I think that has been something we've noticed in the last 2 years, and you got to give McCarthy credit where credit is due.
Now, where do you think Ezekiel Elliott is at in his career? Because obviously he had over 1,000 yards barely. He played the whole season, which you would think a guy that has accomplished what he has accomplished in such a short career, he would have more than 1,000 yards with 17 games. But are they moving away from Ezekiel Elliott and putting it more in Zach's hands as far as, him distributing the ball in the passing game?
Yes, I think that there are a few things. Absolutely, production is important for a running back. I think that when you look at his recent production, what I think of is this offensive line has really dovetailed. And again, you want a player like Zeke, who's making the contract money that he's making, to be able to elevate. But God bless anyone who was able to make it through those run lanes last year that the Cowboys had, because that offensive line, particularly with its run blocking, was just not on the same page. And it's one of the reasons I think that they would be well off to address interior offensive line tonight. Zeke also is still on the field as much as he is because he's key in pass protection and was helping out. So the offensive line wasn't allowing him to produce the way, and he was helping them allow Dak to produce in the way. So I do think that this offense in many ways, particularly after the first few weeks of the season last year, became more of a pass-heavy offense than a run-heavy. I also think that Zeke and Tony Pollard are splitting carries. And Zeke played with, I believe it was a torn PCL. He had a tear in his knee. He suffered week 3 against the Panthers, but they said it wasn't going to get worse, and so he said, I'm still playing every game. So when you take all that together, it's not crazy to think that he could have another productive year this year, but I definitely wouldn't expect him to go back to the rookie year Zeke with that kind of burst and 1,600 yards and 15 touchdowns. But I do think that he's not fallen off as much as some fans might think he has.
Now, here's the question for all Cowboy fans. Is this the year? Because it seems like every year is the year for the Cowboys. Is this the year they finally get to the Super Bowl? Because, listen, I had 5 brothers, and they were huge Cowboy fans back in the day. And to them, every year was the year. Michigan. I grew up in Michigan, in Detroit, and they loved Tony Dorsett. I mean, that whole Cowboy team, and I disliked them because I was a Charger fan. But every year was their year. So is this year their year?
Are you asking what Jerry Jones thinks or what I think?
No, we're asking you,
You
Jory.
think. Yes.
We're
Every
asking
year
you.
is the year for Jerry.
Look, I say this with individual players, too. Prove me wrong. If you prove me wrong and make it to the Super Bowl, fine. But as long as you haven't been to the NFC Championship game, even since I was 18 months old and I'm 27 years old now, why should I expect you're going to make it to the Super Bowl? I think that this team, one of the biggest things I saw last year is that you need to exceed expectations. You need the coaches to allow players to reach their potential. And I think especially on offense last year, most players fell short of expectations. Not met expectations, but fell short of them. Now, look, the defense was completely different. I mean, if you told me before last season that Trayvon Diggs would have had 6 interceptions, I would have been amazed, and that guy had 11. And if you told me what Micah Parsons would have been able to do both as a coverage linebacker and as a pass rusher, again, that's going a year ago, I was saying in the Cowboys draft year, Micah, prove us wrong. But it's hard to believe with some of the off-field things he had in college, not having played during that COVID year, that he was going to do what he did, and he did it. So the team can prove me wrong, but I would be surprised to see them go that year. Go that far, and I don't know. I just think you see other teams sort of like carry on that grind and carry on that, like, let's go exceed expectations more than I have seen the Cowboys in my 6 seasons covering them. But, hey, I would love to cover a Super Bowl winning team.
Okay, let's finish up with this. I'm being told John Robinson and Mike Vrabel are listening to this interview, so let's put you on the spot in the final 15, 20 seconds. Just the position. What position are the Cowboys taking at 24?
Offensive lineman. I would say interior offensive guard, but if you get a guy like Kenyon Green or Zion Johnson, you've got the versatility, which is important. So I think they would be well off if they can get some offensive line help tonight.
If they take the kid from Boston College, Mike Vrabel may have just threw something across the room listening to you say that. Jory, thank you so much for the visit. Really appreciate it. Good stuff. Enjoy the draft, and we'll talk to you down the road.
Likewise. Thanks for having me on, guys.
All right, Jory Epstein. USA Today covers the Cowboys. There you go. Sounds like offensive lineman. Offensive line or wide receiver. You can take that to the bank as probably the 24th pick for the Cowboys. We'll go to Buffalo at the bottom of the hour, find out what the Bills are thinking the pick before the Titans. We'll continue the discussion on the other side here on the DDC ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Darren McFarland. That should get you in the mood for a game tonight. Willie Donick.
I think between 5.5 and 6 is probably in the ballpark.
Chase McCabe.
Typically, I like to take the most difficult task and do it first.
Darren, Donick, and Chase have you covered weekdays from 10 to 2 on Nashville's best sports talk. ESPN 102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Hillside Medical Clinic. Is erectile dysfunction damaging your relationship? Are you sick of the pill and all the side effects? Well, welcome to the future. We have a major medical breakthrough. Hillside Medical Clinic uses the most advanced form of wave therapy. Backed by 60 clinical studies, our technology uses pressure waves to repair and open up blood vessels. We've helped countless men get rid of their ED. But what is the true end result? Their relationship, even their lives, improve drastically. If you're ready to regain your love life, call us right now, and not only will the assessment and ultrasound be free, we'll also give you a gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. It almost never fails. This is worth $550, and it's free to callers right now. 615-576-5000. That's 615-576-5000. Put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and experience what I call the happiness ripple effect. Call Hillside Medical Clinic now, 615-576-5000.
As a mom, you have to plan for everything. But I never planned on my health plan at work costing so much to cover my family. Fortunately, with more than 70 years of experience helping Tennesseans, Farm Bureau health plans help me get family-friendly coverage for a lot less. So I can focus on raising my kids, not my premiums.
Ouch, Mom!
Find out more at fbhp.com. Farm Bureau Health Plans. Plan on us.
Don't forget to grab your mom something special this year. Shop at Social Furniture for their Mother's Day sale, where everything is in stock. They have sofas, bedroom sets, and top-name brand new mattresses like Purple, Serta, Sealy, and Simmons on sale now. Running out of time? Well, at Social Furniture, there's no waiting and same-day delivery. Use Social Furniture's financing plan and pay no interest for 1 full year. Shop at Social Furniture today on Charlotte Avenue in West Nashville. Shop local. Shop social. Social Furniture is a proud supporter of your Nashville Predators.
It's the official Bud Light Preds watch party as your Nashville Predators take on the Colorado Avalanche this Thursday night. Puck drops at 8, but the party starts at 7:30 with all kinds of specials. See you at headquarters, Beercade, downtown Nashville on 2nd Avenue. Go Preds!
Tune in to ESPN 1025 The Game every Tuesday afternoon at 4:30 for ESPN's Trevor Maddich joining me, Jared Stillman, on Stillman & Company as we dive deep into the college football world and all the latest from the SEC. It's all brought to you by Houston Clinic Orthopedics, when experience matters.
Parman Tractor and Equipment is your one-stop tractor and equipment solution. And Middle Tennessee's Link Belt and Takeuchi dealer. Rent or purchase a track loader, mini excavator, large excavators for your job site, or something in between. Parman is now hiring and seeking qualified candidates for construction equipment truck drivers, service technicians, and more. Apply at parmantractor.com or call 615-865-7800. Come be an employee owner with the Parman team, your Middle Tennessee Link Belt and Takeuchi dealer.
Celebrating mothers everywhere, Electronic Express has what you need to make this the best Mother's Day yet. Spoil mom with brands like Zwilling, KitchenAid, Samsung, LG, Dyson, and more. We've also got huge savings in every department: computers, home theater, housewares, smart home furniture, and more. Plus, save up to 40% on all appliances with up to 36 months free financing. Shop in-store or online with free express delivery on most items. Shop spring savings at Electronic Express. We make it happen.
Hey, I'm Ryan Johansson, and this is Smashville.
Back to Johansson, and Johansson tips it in with one hand on the stick.
You're listening to the flagship of the Nashville Predators radio network, ESPN 1025 The Game.
Interact with Darren, Donick, and Chase. Call or text the show at 615-737-1025. Driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
Thank you, Joey. Preds in Denver, Colorado. Tonight to take on the Avs. 8 o'clock puck drop. Pete Weber and Hal Gill will have your call. I'll have pregame for you at 7 o'clock. Also, don't forget, we're the official home of NASCAR. Yeah, tune in this Sunday, 1 o'clock, for the Dry Dean 400. That'll be at Dover International Speedway. NASCAR here on ESPN 1025 The Game is presented by Nashville Super Speedway and the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Also, Chasing Checkers will get you ready. Vroom, vroom at 8 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. You're listening, 8 o'clock. You can do that when he takes to the airwaves. In fact, I've heard a nasty rumor that possibly the suit may be on the show tomorrow.
Ooh.
The show with his name on it. Yeah.
Ooh.
May actually make an appearance or like hang around for a while.
Hang around for a good while, huh?
Yeah.
Can we reference him as Suit? Yes. So we got Billy and we got Sue.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Billy, who knows? I mean, he's on the road, you know. What goes on the road stays on the road, you know. I don't know with Billy. He's crazy. Crazy like a fox. Viking Matt on our text line says Darren uses the 20-year in-between yoga. Yeah. It's a fair assessment.
20-year between yoga.
I think I've signed up for that class a couple of times.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
On our text line, deep dish pizza, or deep dish isn't pizza, it's a casserole. Ooh.
Ooh.
Very descriptive. I've seen this a lot. Let's address this. Ryan in Spring Hill. If Askarov or Ingram aren't the goalies next week, we riot. Now, I hope that's kidding. I don't think he really means it. But I've seen a lot of people, Askarov. Look, folks, it's not going to be Askarov. Like, can we stop with that? They're not putting it. He's not playing.
Why would you put a young guy in a position like that anyway?
He's like 13. He's still got pimples. talks like this. Okay, he hasn't even got
He has a learner permit. He
doesn't
has
even
a
have an
learner's.
Adam's apple. Like, stop with the Askarov stuff.
I'm going to start in game 1 of the playoffs.
Hey, guys, who we playing again? This is a morning game, right?
Hey, Mom, did you make my lunch?
I got my lunchbox ready.
You guys skate so fast.
I mean, stop it. This is like I'm stopping the madness with the Askarov stuff. He's not playing. You're not rioting. He's not playing. I'm squashing it right now. Okay? It's enough with that. He's in Russia.
He's not coming. He's not here.
They're trying to get him over here.
Exactly.
You know, if you notice, there's a lot of nonsense going on in Russia. This just in, a lot of craziness. They want him over here, but they're not putting him in net. He's like 14. I think he just had a birthday. He's 14.
Yeah.
Okay?
Had a
Enough.
birthday
He blew out
at
candles.
the cheese. Chucky.
He's still a puppy. They're not playing him in the playoffs. I get it. There's a lot of expectations. He's the future. He's a high first-round pick. And, yes, everybody thinks this kid is the real deal. But he's not playing in the playoffs. Please, for the love of our text line, please stop saying that. I can't read another Askarov text.
Okay, Darren.
Why is it?
Why are they saying this?
Putting Askarov in there. I don't get it.
Why are people? Why? This kid, has he played an NHL game?
Well, what do you think?
No.
He's been in the KHL.
That's what I'm saying. Hasn't played an NHL game. You haven't seen him. Nobody's seen him.
Right, but put him
And
in
all
the playoffs.
of a sudden, it's like, put him in the playoffs.
Go rescue him from Russia and put him in the playoffs. Like,
Goodness.
no.
I think you have a better chance at Pekka playing than a Scaroff. Goodness.
Actually,
I could see if y'all were screaming for Pekka, then okay, that'd be a little bit more,
Well, people have been saying that.
Yeah.
And I agree with. By the way, let's get Alan Bell back on. Let's get the odds. Askarov or Pekka? Which one has better odds? I would say that you're onto something, D-Mace. It's Pekka.
Man. Well, I guess people want to see him.
I mean, I understand that, but he's not going to play in the playoffs.
Hey, kid.
Playoffs?
Hey, kid. We're bringing you up. For real? I get to travel with the team?
Huh? I'm coming to America?
Nah. You're going to be starting goalie.
You're playing, kid.
That kid would look at you like deer in the headlights. Like, what do you mean I'm playing?
Like the real game?
Yes.
We're doing video games or the real game? I mean,
man.
Well, I love the passion. I
Yeah.
mean this, but let's wait on the build up. And I am trying to be serious. Okay, let's bring it down a notch or two. Let's get serious here on the show. Like we've kind of gone with this a little bit, and it's not Tolvanen's fault, but there was this huge hype and build up, and I get it. He was doing some pretty spectacular things at a very, very, very young age, but it was on bigger ice over in Europe, okay, and there was a lot of hype, and I hate the hype, and it's not their fault, and I get it. People get excited, and it's okay to be excited, but let's not super inflate Askarov like he's going to be Marc-Andre Fleury right out of the, like this is the can't miss goalie. Like when the Penguins took him number 1 overall, like this is the can't miss future Hall of Famer. Hope so. But let's not start that hype train now. Can we at least see him a little bit? Can you let him get rid of some zits first? Can you let him grow an Adam's apple? I mean, let's not build this kid up to be this super unbelievable, where he's got nothing but basically he's got to come in and win every game or it's going to be a disappointment. Like, let's not do that.
Let the kid get out of Velcro skates first. I mean, come on. Man.
Let him get out of the cupcake phase,
Exactly.
okay? Let's come on. Let's give it a little bit of time. Like, he's still having birthday parties at Chuck E. Cheese.
Exactly.
Like, let's let it marinate a little bit, okay? But I'm sure if you're asking the questions, I'm sure they're being serious. And so it's like we've got to stop. Like a stop with the Askarov. He's not playing in the playoffs. I'll just say this right now.
Mm-hmm.
If he does, I'll get a tattoo of D Mace's face on my back, or a scar off, whatever you want me to do.
Get a scar off. Don't get mine, please.
I'll get his.
Get his number tattooed on your back.
I'll get it tattooed on my back.
Like a jersey, like his name and then the number below it, like a jersey tattooed on
I'll get his mask, that whole thing next to it. Yeah, I'll do a whole shrine to a scar off on my back with some ink. Okay? Fair?
Fair.
God bless it. I better go talk to some people. I don't know why I did that. I'll make sure that doesn't happen.
Hey, Darren, we just brought up a scar off.
Man, I'll be pee-peeing down my leg if that happens. Matt in Nashville says, my Askarov impersonations sound a lot like Villy. Yeah, they may be all running together, okay?
The Venn diagram between Villy, the gingerbread man from Shrek, and Askarov is just one circle.
They're triplets, okay? All right, we'll come back. We'll go to Buffalo. And I'm going to make some calls during the break to make sure I haven't stepped in something here, because I don't want that on my back. No, I feel good about it. I really do. I'm being serious. We'll come back. What are the Bills thinking? The pick before the Titans. We'll head to Buffalo. We'll do that next.
If you're on the road between downtown Nashville,
They're still in good shape to make the playoffs.
and I-840,
Players make it clear they don't want to be somewhere anymore.
there's a new way to hear all your favorite shows and sports programming on 102.5 The Game.
I go back to that play and I shake my head. What I was worried about is that they were still just going to keep the goal.
It's 106.3 FM.
Think about all the good Titans teams.
This is very much so a run-first offense.
Now you have two choices to hear Nashville's best sports talk. Check out 106.3 now and add it as a favorite.
Gary Ashton here. I love hearing people say, don't sell without the intel, because it means they're really embracing our message. Now's a great time to sell your home in Nashville, but you need the intel only the Gary Ashton team can provide. Intel that helps you sell your home without any staging or showings. Intel to find your next home so you can sell your current one while the market's hot. Intel to win the buyer battle and cash in on your home equity now. Let everyone else get the same information and compete for the same properties, while you get the intel edge with the Gary Ashton team, the official real estate team for your Tennessee Titans. And if you're looking for a great career, join our team. We added 65 new agents last year, and we want you to join us this year. Remember, don't sell without the intel. And if you're looking for a great career, the Gary Ashton team wants you in 2022. Call 615-301-1650 or visit GaryAshton.com today.
Hey, it's Mike from Newton Nissan South. It's springtime, and I'm going on a limb here. I'm just going to say it. You either love Peeps or you're wrong. I hope you've heard our commercials before. My hope is that you have learned that we are a quality company that prides itself on customer service, and that we like to laugh and joke a bit too. We're different than other dealerships. We don't have hidden fees. The price you see on the site is a price you pay in the dealership. We value you as a customer. We're aware that buying a car often has a stigma attached. Our goal is to overcome that bad stigma, not with flashy commercials or unrealistic giveaways, but with an honest, transparent car buying experience. We want you to come back, and we want you to tell your friends. We do that by giving you great customer service. We want to make your car buying experience fast, easy, and mostly online to save you time. That's why we have Newton FastPass. You can work your deal and numbers online and work the deal to fit your budget. Sounds easy, right? Hop to it and visit NewtonNissanSouth.com to start your deal. See website for details. Check the deets, peeps.
The Eagles Hotel California Tour.
Welcome to the Hotel California.
Live in concert with a full orchestra.
Take it.
Performing their iconic album Hotel California, beginning to end, plus a greatest hits set. The Eagles.
One of these nights.
Tonight at Bridgestone Arena. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
Finishing jobs on time, never being idle,
and powerful equipment. Meade has the John Deere excavating equipment and the smart grade technology solutions for you and your business. Power your business with a new, used, or rented excavator and get the performance you expect and service you can rely on. Call us today for the equipment built as tough and reliable as you, or visit us at meadtractor.com. That's meadtractor.com.
Hey, Robby Stanley here to tell you your Nashville Predators are in the 2022 Stanley Cup playoffs, and we need you at Bridgestone Arena. Round 1 playoff tickets are on sale now at NashvillePredators.com/tickets, and these are the games that you don't want to miss. Epic goals, massive wins, and historic moments. You can be a part of it all. Visit NashvillePredators.com/tickets to be there for all the action. Stand with us, Smashville, and make sure you paint the town Preds. That's NashvillePredators.com/tickets.
ESPN's Turon Davenport breaks down the Titans like no other.
On the field chemistry, I don't think it's going to be a problem. It's just going to be a process.
Catch TD Mondays at 11, Thursdays at 3, and Fridays at 8. Plus, the Talking with TD podcast drops every Wednesday.
When you draft players, it's not just for one season, it's for a career.
Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hey, Nashville, this is Paul Feinbaum, and you're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Buffalo soldier, dread like a Rasta.
Back here on the DDC on this Thursday afternoon, Darren McFarland and Derek Mason with you. The pick before the Titans tonight, if everything holds true, will be the Buffalo Bills at 25. Titans pick 26. Let's head up to Buffalo and find out exactly what they're thinking. Sal, nobody's listening. It's just us, okay? The Titans aren't listening. What are the Bills going to do at 25? Just tell us. Nobody's listening. What do you think?
Do we have to do real quiet too?
You have to be quiet about it. You have to be quiet. Like, we can't scream it.
We don't know, guys. For 2 decades.
That is the theme of everybody we've talked to. Nobody knows what anybody's doing in this draft. What are we doing?
For 2 decades, we lived here in Buffalo with being excited on draft day because the Bills always had a high pick because they were bad for a long time. Didn't make the playoffs. And it's kind of this new world reality we're living in that they're picking low in the first round and pick's not going to be made until after 11 p.m. Eastern time. And people are thinking about, how late you stay up and things like that. So, I don't know. I think that once you get to that point in the draft, you don't know obviously where the board is going to fall. But look, guys, this is a really good roster. It's a championship caliber roster. They don't really have many needs, if any at all. They can really kind of go in a number of ways. I think where most people are focused, including myself, are cornerback. They do have Tre'Davious White coming off an ACL injury just 5 months ago. They let Levi Wallace walk in free agency for not very much money to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think that might be an indication they kind of want to go in a different direction there. Receivers on the board. And then a lot of smoke lately about running back, which I think is a super interesting topic here.
Ooh, Derek, did you hear that?
Mm-hmm. Ding, ding, ding,
Uh-oh.
ding.
Uh-oh. D-Mace has been trumpeting that the Titans may shock the world and take a running back at 26, which I think he's been sipping on, something in his, maybe a little Kahlua in his coffee this morning. I don't know, but so You think the Bills could actually, they could use a little bit more, I guess, a little juice in the backfield, right?
Yeah, so let's look at some clues here. Now, look, I don't subscribe to this. I don't think they're going to take a running back. But I understand why people are tying this together, all right? And here's why. This is a pretty ready-made roster. This isn't the type of roster that, you're looking to build for the future necessarily. Yes, of course that comes with it, but this is the kind of pick you make when you think you're 1 or 2 players from winning a Super Bowl, and the Bills are right there. So where can they do that? And I think the Bills feel that what they need is another weapon for Josh Allen, particularly out of the backfield. Yes, Devin Singletary was very good over the last month and a half, but he's not a guy that you necessarily put on the field a lot on third down, catches passes out of the backfield, gives you more options. Let's remember the Bills targeted and actually thought they signed J.D. McKissick in free agency. He reversed and went back to the Washington Commanders. That was very disappointing for Brandon Beane. In fact, he was mad about how it all went down. He was mad at the Washington Commanders for how all that situation played out. They settle on Duke Johnson. They have been looking for a dynamic back to do it all, to give them that weapon. So I think that's part of the thinking here. Now, I don't think you should take a running back in the first round. I just don't think the value is there. But I understand that thinking for people who think the Bills could do that.
Are the Bills done signing former Titans offensive linemen, or is there another one we need to know about?
You tell me who you got available out there that's played for them, and maybe because they still have to address a little bit more as far as depth. But yeah, when Saffold became available, I think right away people said, okay, well that could be someone the Bills look at because they did release John Feliciano, they did release Darrell Williams, who was a guard, had been a tackle. They kind of had a void there, and then Ryan Bates' situation was up in the air. He was a restricted free agent. They have since re-signed Ryan Bates, and of course now signed Roger Saffold, so that makes sense. And then Questenberry, I think that's a really nice under-the-radar signing for the Bills. Gives them a guy that has experience starting, obviously. They do have an inexperienced right tackle in Spencer Brown they like, but, you'd like to have a little more option there, especially more of a veteran just in case. And then, he can also he can back up Deion Dawkins at left tackle, and you have experience there as well. So I like the signing for them, but I think they're always in the market to, add depth to that spot.
We'll talk with Sal Capaccio, Bills insider, talking the draft. They picked right before the Tennessee Titans. Now, Sal, this Buffalo Bill team, from both an offensive and defensive standpoint, they were ranked high in the NFL. I looked at Buffalo's defense. As good as they were, they still had their flaws. They made plays, but at times they just wasn't that shutdown defense like their numbers should suggest that they should be. Do you think they go heavy defense in this draft?
So I don't think they go heavy defense necessarily, but you make a great point there, Mace, which is when the chips were down, there were still issues they struggled with, particularly speed, chasing Tyreek Hill down the field, in the AFC divisional round, right? There were times that happened. Look what happened, Monday night in Tennessee. I mean, that was a slugfest. That was a shootout. The Bills don't want to get in those kinds of games. They don't mind because they have Josh Allen, but those are not the kind of games that they don't want their defense to have to do that because it just shows that there are some issues that pop up once in a while. Team speed on defense is one of them. Now they're fast enough, but when you go in those critical games and you have guys like Tyreek Hill you have to chase, who by the way now is in the Bills division, they're going to face twice a year. You have to think about that. So I don't think they have to do anything drastic on defense. I don't think they have to go heavy on defense. It was the number one defense in the league last year. It's been the number one pass defense a few times over the last few years. But I do think they have to button themselves up as far as a little bit more speed in the secondary, a little bit more athleticism in the secondary. I did a mock draft today, my final mock. I've done a few of them. I have the Bills taking Kyler Gordon, the cornerback out of Washington. Now, some people may feel that's too high. That's fine. He might be. But he represents, I think, what the Bills are looking for, which is super high-end athlete with physical traits they can tap into, hip flipper. He can chase around the field. He's the opposite of Levi Wallace, who's been here for 4 years. They let walk. Wallace is a technician. He's not the athlete. He's the guy that's always going to be doing what he's coached to do, but he's going to get beat physically in one-on-one matchups. And I think the less of the technician guy is Gordon, but the higher-end athlete who can make up for that.
Now, where do they fall in the pecking order in the AFC? Obviously, they've taken over the AFC East, even though they did lose to New England once, but I think they pretty much solidified who they are and what type of team they are in the playoffs when they beat them. I think it was 47-20, 47-17, somewhere around there. But where are they in the pecking order of the AFC? Are they the top team in AFC right now?
Well, I think they have the best roster. And look, I mean, with all due respect to the Tennessee Titans, because they obviously beat the Bills, and the Bills have struggled with them the last couple of years, and they've had a really nice run here the last few years. The Bills are the Vegas favorite to win the Super Bowl, not just the AFC. If you go to any sports book, they might be second. Maybe Tampa's back there with Brady, but the Bills are the favorite to win the AFC. And Vegas doesn't build big casinos because they're usually wrong. They usually have a pulse on things. So I think that just shows you that they do have the best roster. And guys, you could argue they have the best quarterback in the entire NFL now. I mean, Josh Allen is a superstar. Now, granted, second or third best, whatever it is, splitting hairs, but they have a fantastic roster from top to bottom. They have one of, if not the best quarterbacks in the NFL. They're very well coached. They have a great front office. It's been all together now for the last several years. The one issue, one question that has been coming up about this year and getting over that hump is they do now have a first-time offensive coordinator and play caller, and that's in Ken Dorsey. Ken Dorsey has a lot of people who truly believe he's going to be a star as a coordinator in this league, but he's never done it. And Brian Daboll left for the Giants, and this is the first time in Josh Allen's career he's going to have a new offensive coordinator. Now, same system, because Dorsey was here. He was the quarterback's coach. He's going to keep a lot of that in place. But I do think we all have to see that in action and how it looks.
Go ahead, Darren.
No.
Okay. I got one more question for you. Now, obviously, they traded for Stephon Diggs years ago, and he's been everything and some for this Buffalo Bill team. But they haven't had that second guy that they can go to. I know Cole Beasley catches a lot of balls, but he's not a guy that's going to give you those big plays. Emmanuel Sanders, he's been doing it for a very long time, but he missed some games last year. Who will be their number 2 receiver behind Stephon Diggs? Somebody that they can truly count on to be a playmaker.
Well, first of all, just so your listeners know, Cole Beasley's gone. They released him.
Okay.
And Emmanuel Sanders is not signed, and he's probably going to retire. He's not coming back. Those aren't going to bring him back either. He was not. But the answer to your question is Gabriel Davis. I mean, this guy was a monster last year in the playoffs, set an NFL record of over 200 yards and 4 touchdowns against the Kansas City Chiefs. You know, the only issue with Davis for some reason was he really didn't see the field as much as he should have early in the year. And that was because I think they kind of forced it with Emmanuel Sanders. They really wanted that experience and what he brought to the table. It just didn't quite work out with Emmanuel Sanders last year, which is why I think they just kind of figured, okay, he's moving on. He's older. We're not going to worry about that. He had 1 year he had a 1-year contract. But Gabriel Davis is, I think, going to be a star in this league. And he's not necessarily the fastest guy, but we saw him get behind the secondary multiple times against Kansas City. He is a hard worker. He's taller. He's physical. I think Gabriel Davis can be a number 1 on most teams in the NFL, but he's a number 2 on the Bills behind Stephon Diggs.
Sal, have they put a shovel in the ground yet on the new stadium?
They haven't. Actually, today is the day that the Pagula Sports and Entertainment Executive Vice President Ron Rakuya, who's kind of the point man for the team on this, is meeting with Erie County legislatures to kind of put the final, approval on it. It's
I thought it was done. Okay.
Yeah, well, it's expected to be rubber stamped, but the county actually has to approve it because the state already did and all that kind of stuff. It's the political red tape you have to go through. So they're going to do that, and that's going to happen, but he's basically giving the reasons why, and then they're going to say, okay, we approve it. But we're expecting, I think, the way he said it was a hole in the ground maybe next April or May. First game will be played in 2026 is when the stadium's going to open. If anybody is familiar with this area, Orchard Park is where the current stadium is. The new one is going right across the street from the old stadium. They'll figure out what they do with the old stadium. It could be parking and the mouse. They could use it for municipal stuff, whatever. But we're excited here in Buffalo, although I'm sure in Tennessee you're going through the same thing, which is it's a polarizing topic, guys.
Yep.
Because,
Yep.
I mean, it's $1.4 billion, and $850 million of that is essentially, $650 is coming out of public money. So, that's the largest amount of public money ever seen for a stadium project. Now, it's not the highest percentage because, inflation and things like that, but I know you guys are going through the same thing there, and, that's what people are talking about more than, hey, we're getting a new stadium right now.
Oh, we've been following your situation very closely because obviously, as you mentioned, we're going through the same thing, and hopefully the Titans are going the right direction because it's where it needs to go 100%, and that's enclosed, whether it's retractable roof or a dome, whatever, today's version of a dome. But it needs to be enclosed, and I'm sorry you're not getting that because you're the sideline reporter, and that would be nice, right, to have 72 every game. But, you have to deal with sometimes 70-mile-per-hour winds on Monday Night Football or 16 inches of snow.
Last year was the worst weather year I'd ever experienced. And I've been a sideline reporter for 8 years. I mean, home games, away games. Actually, the Monday night game in Tennessee was like maybe some of the nicest weather we had all year. It was maybe low 60s and clear and not windy, and that was great that night. But, that's the other debate here, aside from the money, is why are you not putting a roof on it? We're in Buffalo. You have Josh Allen, all that. And let me explain. Part of the reason is financially. I mean, that's the number one reason. It would have cost probably close to another $1 billion to do that. So, that wasn't going to be on the table here in Buffalo. It's the second smallest media market in football, and you're already getting that much money subsidized from the state. Like, you want to do that, like, what's the chances of that, and if people really even want something like that? And then the other thing is, we're not getting a Super Bowl here, even with a dome. You can in Tennessee. We're just too small. They don't have enough hotel rooms here, enough amenities. It's a cold weather city, obviously. So that wouldn't be on the table here in Buffalo. As much as I would like to be in that type of weather, come on, man, we're Buffalo strong, we're Buffalo tough, right? You come up to Buffalo. It is an advantage, I think, in January when teams come here to say, oh, my God, I got to go to Buffalo to play in a playoff game, right? I think that mentally you get off the bus already and you're like, I don't know how fun this is going to be.
Yeah, I'm walking around on a torn ACL, and I would love to have the story that I jumped off a 15-foot ladder onto a table, and that's how I tore my ACL, but I've got a really lame story.
Yeah,
really lame story. And on fire, yes, there we go. Sal, really good stuff. Appreciate the visit. Good luck tonight, and we'll talk to you down the road. Really appreciate you doing this.
Anytime, guys. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Sal Capaccio, Bills sideline reporter. That was really good stuff right there. We'll come back, put a bow on the third hour. Elliot Friedman coming up at 1 o'clock. More of the DDC next.
It's time for the draft.
Welcome to the NFL Draft.
Join us at 312 Pizza Company in Germantown for night 2 of draft night in Nashville, Friday, starting at 5.
You got that 4th round guy, 5th round guy, but I need 4 guys I can count on.
Presented by Apple Collision Centers, Social Furniture, Farm Bureau Health Plans, and the Nashville Sheriff.
On ESPN
102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
From the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
I'm Fox 17 News Code Red meteorologist Dan Guthrie. Sunny skies are going to give way to some cloud cover this afternoon and evening. High temperature up to 79 degrees, and then we are 80s for the weekend with storms.
This weather report brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Erectile dysfunction ruins sex, but it's more than that. It harms otherwise good relationships. It destroys marriages. It can cause depression and anxiety, and it can be extremely hard on a man's self-esteem. This is Kim for the Tennessee Men's Clinic, and if you're suffering with ED, if it's affecting you, I want you to know that if you're like most men, we can treat it and get you back to the man you used to be. At the Tennessee Men's Clinic, we're ED experts. Our protocols have success rates as high as 90%. We've successfully treated thousands of men in the Music City, and we have a variety of treatment options and treatment combinations that could have you performing like you haven't in years. You could even last up to an hour and experience great sex again that is satisfying for both you and your partner. In treating your health, expertise matters, so make an appointment today. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. Call 615-208-9090 or go to TennesseeMen'sClinic.com. Visit our website to learn more, including side effects, treatments extra, results vary.
Hey, folks, Joe Rexrode here for FanDuel Sportsbook. You know, one of the things I love about betting my favorite sports is I'm always finding new player props or game props that I like. One of many things that's very cool about FanDuel is you can combine prop bets from multiple games, and now you can even do it with multiple sports. This is called Same Game Parlay Plus. You can only find them on FanDuel. You can combine, for example, NBA playoff player props you love with your favorite baseball home run hitters for a chance to score an even bigger payout. I mean, if you want to go, hey, how about a Ja Morant, Roman Yossi combo? You can do anything you want. And if you don't want to build your own same-game parlay, you can check out their popular same-game parlay sections where you can join the bets that other users are jumping on and really hit it big with that. If you're new to FanDuel, sign up with promo code Joe102. You get first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Make every moment more. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Promo code Joe102 so they know I sent you. And try one of these same-game parlay plus options. It's a lot of fun. You must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit expires in 7 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line 800-889-9789.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless. Now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you have to drive 300 miles to your cousin's wedding. Okay, so it's his fourth. But you know what they say, fourth time's the charm. Well, here's the problem. Your tires are as bald as I am. But lucky for you, eBay Motors has tires for just about every make and model. Plus wheels, lug nuts, jack stands, and more. 122 million parts. Do they have tissues? Oh, good, because I'm definitely a crier. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Machine journalism.
They are 2 scores behind you. The math says that increases your chances of winning.
With sports fandom.
I stayed up till 1:30 in the morning, just emotionally numb from Titans and Packers.
And sarcasm.
You guys are the worst.
Robby Stanley and Joe Rexrode are Robby and Rexrode. No duh. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN.
1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Watch live on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. If you've missed any of today's show, just search Darren, Donick, and Chase on Apple, Spotify, or on your favorite podcast platform.
Sounds baseball tonight on ESPN 94.9. They take on St. Paul. Pre-game show begins at 6:20. First pitch at 6:37. Sounds baseball on ESPN 94.9, presented by 312 Pizza. There it is again. Farm Bureau Health Plans and Spirited Hive. We've had a lot of fun today. Clearly too much fun, because when all the texts are just basically people rooting for me to get a back tattoo, nobody even cares about the draft coverage anymore. They're now focusing on me getting a back tattoo. That, you know, we've had too much fun. Thomas from Nashville said, I could not stop laughing just imagining Darren's family, what they would think if he came home with a back tattoo. I'm sure that would get their attention. Thank you, guys. I enjoy the show. Let's see. Dustin in Hopkinsville, Kentucky says, kids first get peach fuzz. So, John Hines, please put in a scar-off. Let's see. I don't know. Unnamed texter. I would happily accept a 10-2 loss in Game 1 if it means Darren has to get a back tattoo.
10-2.
It just goes on and on. I had some, and I'm going to leave their name out of it, but I had someone text me, and I'm going to leave their name out for a reason, but they were saying, oh my gosh, if you would get a Willie back tattoo, it would have to be, of course, on your left side. This is what the person told me. I would donate a lot of money to charity to make sure that happened.
Would you get it a Willie or Villy?
Oh, it has to be. It has to be a Villy. It would have to be a Villy back tattoo. And by the way, they're also weighing in on my impressions of Askarov, who are starting to blend with Villy. There was one text that said, and throw in a little Mickey Mouse in South Park in there as well.
Oh, that's good. That's accurate.
Okay, I've got Barstool Sports has put out their predictions for the first round. They have made their predictions. You want to hear who they said the Titans would take at 26?
I can only guess that it would be an offensive lineman, but go ahead.
Okay, this is Barstool Sports, Derek. Okay? They have the Titans selecting. In fact, let's make it official. Like, you do that and then have Elijah, play like we did with our contest a little bit earlier.
And
Derek,
with
set it up.
And with the 26th pick in this year's 2022 NFL Draft, the Titans select, or Barstool selects for the Titans,
the biggest, strongest player for Vrabel to wrestle.
Confirmed Zion Johnson.
I said it was Barstool Sports. By the way, you know who they took, who they had Buffalo taking at 25? I wasn't going to. Sal was really good, and he would have had fun with this. I wanted to read it when he's. Their selection for the Bills was someone who can run 13 seconds off the clock.
The bold choice in that mock was the Lions taking an actual lion, number 2.
Oh, man.
An actual lion, yes. For the Chargers, they said someone who can kick a field goal.
Oh, wow. So they go into all basically the mishaps of the teams.
Oh, it is the Cowboys, of course. Again, someone who can pass with 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
I'm surprised they passed on the time machine for someone who could pass in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Arizona, they have a Kyler growth chart. No, a Kyler growth spurt. Excuse me.
We draft Kyler growth spurt with the pick. Oh, man.
So who would be the biggest, strongest player for Mike Vrabel to wrestle?
Oh, man. I don't know.
Would that be Zion?
It might be. He's one of the bigger players.
I was just say it would have to be an offensive lineman then, right?
Yeah, or a defensive line. Could be a defensive lineman.
True.
I say big boy from Georgia, but he won't be there.
Jordan Davis.
Yeah, big Jordan Davis. He's like two people.
Wouldn't you love to see Vrabel just in a bad mood? One of his, Monday pressers where he's hangry and he's just going after every question. Wouldn't you love to see him and Davis wrestle? Oh. Wouldn't you love to see Jordan Davis say something, pop off at Vrabel at practice and see those two tangle?
Man. Better watch out.
That would be outstanding.
Better move out the way.
The Eagles have pick 15, and Barstool Sports thinks they're going to take the 10th best receiver.
Not the first, not the second, but the 10th.
With the very next pick, the Saints, they believe the Saints will take the receiver that the Eagles should have drafted.
Oh, man.
How awesome is that? That's funny. All right. The last pickers, remember the Lions do have the last pick as well. They've got pick 2 and 32. And for the Lions' 32nd pick, they said, find a new painful way to lose.
Are there any more ways the Lions can lose? This is a franchise that didn't win a game in a season. So can they pick any other worse way to lose?
Oh,
Benjamin Adler, Kansas State, 337 pounds. Might be our guy.
Wow. All right, we'll come back. Elliot Freeman. Good stuff from him to begin the final hour of the DDC. That's next.
From Brentwood to Donaldson.
That's when you need to get your groove.
We are Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN.
1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
Victory Award-winning New Amsterdam Vodka knows all about it. But in life, it's not always so clear. So New Amsterdam Vodka believes that in life, you've got to find your own wins. You've got to overcome your fears, go all in, even when you've got nothing at all. Find your wins. And when you do, raise that glass of New Amsterdam Vodka in victory. You've earned it. New Amsterdam Spirits Company, Modesto, California.
This segment of ESPN 1025 The Game is brought to you by Train Heating and Cooling Systems. Tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent train dealer. Traininfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
Smokeville Smoke Shop has been serving Hendersonville and Metro Nashville since 2015 and is committed to providing high-quality, hands-on, and personable customer service. Stop into Smokeville Smoke Shops in Hendersonville, Gallatin, Hermitage, and Goodlettsville to try any of their wide selection of locally sourced products and selection of top nationwide brands, including vapes, hookah, hand-blown glass, detox systems, e-juices, kratom products, leaf wraps, and much more. Visit Smokeville Smoke Shops today.
Houston Clinic Orthopedics wants to thank their patients for voting them the #1 orthopedic practice in the Nashville Scene Poll for 3 years in a row. Their physicians specialize in spine, joint replacement, knee, hip, upper extremity, and other orthopedic conditions. At Houston Clinic Orthopedics, they adhere to all CDC guidelines for the patient's and staff safety. To experience world-class orthopedic care and see a list of all physicians, visit their website at tn.houston.com and book your appointment online today.
Introducing the first Nashville location of Mayweather Boxing and Fitness in Midtown. Perfect for all fitness levels. Join a community that will help every person unleash their inner champ with fun, effective, and empowering group boxing circuit workouts. Become a founding member today. Stop by the brand new studio in Midtown at 2041 Broadway, Suite C, or call 629-206-9092 to join the family exclusive. Pre-opening rates now available. Mayweather Boxing and Fitness, the gold standard in boxing fitness.
Zines First is the official sign company for 1025 The Game. Go to sfnash.com.
The Eagles Hotel California Tour.
Welcome to the Hotel California.
Live in concert with a full orchestra.
Take it.
Performing their iconic album Hotel California, beginning to end, plus a greatest hits set. The Eagles.
One of these nights.
Tonight at Bridgestone Arena. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Dashboard light problems? We can help. Our free Fix Finder service can read your check engine light, ABS light, and service indicator light, and give you possible solutions, verified by licensed technicians. You'll even get detailed results sent straight to your email so you have them when you need it most. It's the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes. The free Fix Finder service, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
More details at AutoZone.com.
From the Hillside Medical Game Studios, WPRT-FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne, with Stillman and Company.
Surprise, surprise!
I write down what was good, what was bad.
Afternoons from 2 to 6.
On ESPN.
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
A Cromwell Media Station.
Live from the Game Nashville studios, it's time for Darren, Donick, and Chase. With hosts Darren McFarland, Willie Donick, and Chase McCabe. On Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN.
102.5 The Game.
Final hour DDC on this Thursday afternoon. Gorgeous day here in Nashville. Darren McFarland, Derek Mason with you. Elliot Friedman, Sportsnet. 32 Thoughts, Hockey Night in Canada, now joins us. Elliot, how you doing? How was your week off?
It was good. I've got a tan. That's the most important thing, guys. That's all that matters.
Was it a
you
fake?
You don't have a tan after your week off. It's a disgrace, really.
Was it a fake bake or was it all au naturel?
No. I don't fake bake. I think that's lame. That's like cheating, right? I think fake bake is unacceptable. I was in Naples for a few days, so I got a real tan.
Good for you. Okay. So a spirited night. It was a fun game. It ended poorly, but, man, was it a fun game to be at. It was an electric atmosphere. Man, I had Tomasino upstairs for post game, and man, he was just, wide-eyed. Think about it, that was game 80, and it was almost like talking to him. It was like a welcome to the NHL. He was like, okay, well, this is what it's going to be like in the playoffs. It was a man's game for sure. If that ends up being the first round matchup, what do you think of Calgary and Nashville?
Well, look, I think if you take a look at your games against Calgary this year, they've been really even.
Yeah.
Like at this time of the year, one of the things that I always do is I throw out the overtime and shootout records. Those matter in the regular season, but those don't matter anymore. We don't have 4-on-4 or 3-on-3 overtime in the playoffs, and we don't have a shootout in the playoffs. The playoffs are the same as the regular season main games. So everything you saw in the regular season, that's the way these games get played for 60 minutes. So I look at like anything that happened in a shootout or overtime with you guys this year in the Flames, I throw it out. You guys were very evenly matched. I'll tell you, I had buddies texting me during that game the other night saying to me, boy, I hope this is a playoff series. I can't wait to watch this in the playoffs. So people up here, too, were excited. I don't know if you saw Lucic's quote, but he said it was one of the 5 best games he's ever played, and the guy's played 1,000 games. He said it was one of the best games he's ever been a part of. He enjoyed it that much. But, now, unfortunately, we've got Saros looming large over this, and I just hope it doesn't change too much the equations. You guys deserve better after the year you've had.
Does Lucic talk like Sylvester Stallone and Rocky? Because that's what he looks. His facial looks. He looks like Sly and Rocky. Is that the way he talks?
I'll tell you this: he could punch like Sylvester Stallone.
Oh
and Rocky.
boy, could he ever? Yeah.
So he's doing this thing right now, and if you search it, you can find it. So a few weeks ago, they came in to Calgary had lost 2 in a row, and we had a Saturday night game, and he walked in this black suit. I think it was a black shirt too, and he had a mean look on his face in the rink in Calgary. And they showed us this walk-in, and we showed it in the intermission. Joe predicted Calgary to win by 10 because he walked in like just looking like he's the first person he saw he was going to pummel them. And nobody can pull this off like this guy can. He just looks the part.
Yeah.
And so he saw it on TV. Someone told me a couple of days later, and he loved it. So for almost every Calgary home game since then, he's been doing a variation of that. So he loves, like, look, that's his identity. That's who he is. He's not the scorer he used to be. He loves to play up the tough guy act, and he can deliver. He is still one of the toughest guys in the league.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of people, Elliot, wearing black suits here today because they're mourning, trying to figure out what is going to be the status of UC Saros moving forward. So we were bringing up your tweets yesterday on the show before the team took off, or right as the team, I guess, was taking off to Denver for tonight's contest against the Avs. Clearly, he's not going to play the last 2 games of the regular season. But are you hearing anything on possible availability for the playoffs or not? Oh boy, I don't like that big sigh.
Yeah, you're not going to get a lot of truth at this time of year, and I think we recognize that and we understand it. I don't always like it, but I understand it. And as you guys know, David Poyle is as old school gets. Like there's a way he does business, and he does not like injuries to get out. And there's been no confirmation of anything, and that's the way he prefers it. But what I've heard is that it's going to be a challenge. I never like to make pronouncements because early in my career I said a guy was going to miss game 1, and he played game 1, and I felt like a big dumb idiot. So I'm very careful about these kinds of things, but I think it's going to be a real challenge for him, unfortunately.
Elijah, I'm going to give you a couple seconds to see if you can pull this up real quick. I'll stall. But and get Hines' comments this morning on our morning show. So John
Actually,
Hines,
as a matter of fact, I retweeted them. I listened.
Okay, so you heard John's.
So
well, let's just play it for people who did not hear head coach John Hines on our morning show this morning when asked about UC Saros.
Right now, Juice is. I mean, he's still getting evaluated basically on how we're gonna, what his time frame is going to be. We're hopeful, but I think at this point in time, it's important for him to get a little bit of rest, let the things settle down, and then see where he goes from here over the next few days.
Okay, we're hopeful. Want things to settle down. What did that? We've already talked about it. Kind of just gave our opinions on the show. What is your opinion? What do you hear from the head coach when you hear that?
Well, I think what happens is sometimes it is true. Like if you've ever been injured, sometimes you don't know right away.
Yes.
It takes a couple of days to determine, and whether it's swelling or whatever the case is, sometimes it does take a couple of days. So I think that's very legitimate. But and I'm sure on some level, what Hines is hoping for is that maybe whatever deity I pray to listens to my prayers, and we get really good news out of this. All I can tell you is that while nobody knew for sure, they were worried about it. That's the best way I could say it.
Okay. There's been a lot of we've had a lot of fun today on the show, and there's been I made this proclamation, so I'm going to need your help to know if I'm going to need to start sweating or if we could just put this to bed and I can feel really good about it. But we've been getting flooded with text and calls and fans' feedback on if this has happened. Of course, it started with a lot of Pekka, bring back Pekka. It's like, okay, well, I think we had fun with that. But there's a lot of fans that Yaroslav Askarov, they want to see him in there. And I was like, guys, can we please stop with this? Like, there's no way. He's in Russia. He's still unsigned. They are not putting him – he's still a baby. They're not putting him in the playoffs. I was like, if for the love of our text line, please stop asking those questions. If it happens, I will get a shrine of him on my back. I have no tattoos, but I will get a back tattoo, and it'll be a shrine of Askarov. I don't have anything to worry about, right?
You know, I got to tell you, I kind of want it to happen now.
Yeah, well, that's the feedback we're getting, Elliot. Everything shifted to the rest of the show has been like now people are actively rooting. In fact, one listener said, I would accept a 10-2 loss in Game 1 of the playoffs if it meant you get the back tattoo.
Man, I wonder what David Poyle thinks of that stuff, or John Hines. Yeah. Hey, we lost 10-2, but at least there's back tattoos coming. You know what? I'll look into it. I hadn't heard that. I will say this: I have not heard it. And to be honest, I'm not really sure that would even just be possible right now with the whole situation being what it is, unfortunately. I'll just say this, Chase. I haven't heard it. I haven't heard that as a scenario. I think the most interesting thing is there a chance in Game 1 that Connor Ingram's your starting goalie? Like, I know Riddick's been up here all year, but, and that was a really tough one to go into the other night. Like, you've been sitting basically cold for 2 hours and you have to go in. But, I know that you guys haven't always been comfortable with Riddick this year. I think my bigger question right now is there any chance Connor Ingram started Game 1 of the playoffs?
Well, I guess that's what everyone's asking or wondering right about now.
Talked about that.
Who's going to be the goalie heading into the playoffs?
Who's going in Colorado tonight? Do we know yet?
Well, John Hines said that Riddick and Ingram are going to split the start. So
I heard that.
One is going to start tonight, and the other, but there's no definitive answer on which one it's going to be.
Who are you guys playing tomorrow again?
Arizona, the one that just came back and beat Dallas last night after trailing 3-0.
I'll tell you something.
Beat Minnesota earlier in the week.
Yeah, Arizona's finished up strong, but I'll tell you this, I'm going to be really curious to see who's coming out of the chute to play Colorado tonight. Because I'll tell you this, I've known coaches like this. I've known coaches who will say, if there's any chance Connor Ingram is going to play Game 1, let's just assume you guys are going to play the Avalanche, okay, for a second. If there's any chance Connor Ingram is going to play Game 1, there'll be coaches who say, I want him playing Colorado tonight because I want him to see him. And I also know coaches who will say, if there's any chance Connor Ingram is playing Game 1 and it's Colorado, I don't want Colorado to see him.
Strategy there.
Yeah. We totally overthink ourselves. That's what we do.
We'll talk with Elliot Friedman, Sportsnet. Before we let you out here, Elliot, if indeed Saros can't go in the first round, how does a series between Calgary and or Colorado look without Saros in net?
Derek, it's a big challenge. I remember there was a basketball coach up here, Darryl Walker. He was the second coach of the Toronto Raptors, and he always used to say, "One man's injury is another man's opportunity." And I always liked that saying. I think that if you're the person who's sort of next man up, you have to have that mentality, and the team has to do it. But it's a huge challenge. Saros has had a Vezina Trophy year. I'm not sure he's going to win it, but he's one of the best goalies in the league. And it's an opportunity for Ingram, or it's an opportunity for Riddick to show what they're capable of and to step up. But I'm not telling you guys any news. It's a much bigger challenge. Colorado can score, Calgary can score. It's a much bigger challenge, and everybody in front of them's got to be 5% better too.
Okay, real quick on the way out, Elliot, just because you've been doing so much reporting on it, and it's been now it's official. Vegas is out of the playoffs for the first time in their franchise history, so we know they're not going to have any postseason play. But the whole Robin Leonard situation, and it sounds like there's been, we know they've had injury issues, but it sounds like there's been kind of a hot mess going on behind the scenes. Can you kind of give us the Cliff Notes version of what's been going on in Vegas? Like I said, I know you've been all over this story.
Yeah, I mean, Robin Leonard's been playing hurt like a lot of their guys have. He's going to have surgery on his shoulder, they announced, but I think he's got another injury or two. And he got very upset at some of the criticism he was taking and being pulled from a game last Wednesday night, a week ago yesterday, against Washington. And he went in on Thursday and basically, from what I understand, said, that's it. It's time. I don't like I'm going to go have surgery. And he was mad at them. And someone has been telling me, just wait, because this one's complicated. It's going to continue to evolve. But basically, he was upset and frustrated. And there was talk about, can you still play, things like that. But he decided, no, he needed to have surgery, and the doctor said he's definitely going to need surgery. But there's, if you've listened to Peter DeBoer in the past couple of days, the coach, he's been kind of talking about, I'm concentrating about the guys who are playing hurt here. So I just think this has been a really hard year in Vegas. They've never had a season like this. They've never failed to. They've never missed the playoffs before. This is the first time ever, and I just think the stress and some of the things that have happened, the Fleury trade, the aborted Dodonov trade, I just think it all turned into a big cauldron of punishment this year. And I just think that when it's over and people start talking, I'm just really curious to hear what people are going to have to say. I think that's a team that's not used to this. And I think we're all wondering what's going to be the fallout.
Interesting. Well done. Okay, so overthinking and making lousy predictions, and we've been making predictions all day, so let's just keep with that theme. So I'll start it. So Darren is going – I'm going with Riddick tonight, so we can laugh about it next week, right? Well, somebody's going to be right unless we all say the same thing. So I'm going to go Riddick tonight, Ingram tomorrow. Derek, what do you got?
I'm with you on the same. Riddick tonight,
Okay.
Ingram tomorrow.
So Riddick tonight, Ingram tomorrow. Elliot, you finish it up. What do you got? Are you going to overthink? You going to overthink and swap?
I want to be the contrarian. I really do. I think you guys are right. I think you guys are right because I think in some ways you probably have to say to Riddick, let's see what he can do. Okay, now that he might be the number one guy, but for bragging rights and to give you someone to trash tomorrow, I'll go with Ingram Riddick.
Thank you, because that'll give us some fodder, and we can laugh about it tomorrow and have fun tomorrow, and then we'll have fun next week when we talk about it with you. That'll be
All right,
good.
guys, chat then.
Thank you, Elliot. Appreciate it.
All right, take care, guys.
Elliot Freeman, he's so good every week, Thursdays at 1 o'clock. Sportsnet 32 Thoughts, Hockey Night in Canada. We'll come back, continue the discussion on the other side here on the DDC, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Darren McFarland.
And a mulligan that we all look for in golf. Lord knows our game could use it.
Willie Donick.
Outworked and outperformed a lot of other really good players.
Chase McCabe.
I want some sort of trade protection.
Darren, Donick, and Chase have you covered weekdays from 10 to 2 on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Gary Ashton here. I love hearing people say, don't sell without the intel, because it means they're really embracing our message. Now's a great time to sell your home in Nashville, but you need the intel only the Gary Ashton team can provide. Intel that helps you sell your home without any staging or showings. Intel to find your next home so you can sell your current one while the market's hot. Intel to win the buyer battle and cash in on your home equity now. Let everyone else get the same information and compete for the same properties, while you get the intel edge with the Gary Ashton team, the official real estate team for your Tennessee Titans. And if you're looking for a great career, join our team. We added 65 new agents last year, and we want you to join us this year. Remember, don't sell without the intel. And if you're looking for a great career, the Gary Ashton team wants you in 2022. Call 615-301-1650 or visit GaryAshton.com today.
Hey, it's Mike from Newton Chevrolet Buick GMC. It's springtime, and I'm going on a limb here. I'm just going to say it. You either love Peeps or you're wrong. I hope you've heard our commercials before. My hope is that you have learned that we are a quality company that prides itself on customer service and that we like to laugh and joke a bit too. We're different than other dealerships. We don't have hidden fees. The price you see on the site is the price you pay in the dealership. We value you as a customer. We're aware that buying a car often has a stigma attached. Our goal is to overcome that bad stigma, not with flashy commercials or unrealistic giveaways, but with an honest, transparent car buying experience. We want you to come back and we want you to tell your friends. We do that by giving you great customer service. We want to make your car buying experience fast, easy, and mostly online to save you time. That's why we have Newton FastPass. You can work your deal and numbers online and work the deal to fit your budget. Sounds easy, right? Hop to it and visit NewtonChevroletBuickGMC.com to start your deal. See website for details. Check the deets, peeps.
Harman Energy is your one-stop petroleum solution across all of Tennessee, offering turnkey petroleum solutions for professionals in major industries, serving trucking fleets, construction companies, industrial plants, and more. Whether a large corporation or owner-operator, Harman Energy has your diesel fuel, lubricant, DEF, and equipment needs. No matter how you're getting there, start with Parman. Visit ParmanEnergy.com for more info. Your Tennessee petroleum solution, providing totally outrageous customer service.
Want the latest on the Predators from the people that cover them?
Heck of a year so far for the Predators. They've been so much fun to watch.
Join Robby Stanley for Preds Insiders every Monday at 6.
I feel probably as good about this group of 6 on D.
Presented by Dr. Kelly Rice on Smashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Interact with Darren, Donick, and Chase. Call or text the show at 615-737-1025. Driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
You can watch us streaming live on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook every single day. Our video streaming is brought to you by the law offices of Amanda Gentry. Good stuff from Elliot Friedman. Really good stuff. And yes, if you didn't hear, the Vegas Golden Knights, done. No playoffs for them. First time in franchise history. The Stars were up 3-0 last night on the Coyotes and freaking lost at home.
Wow.
Now, not in regulation. So they did get a point, and there's a reason I'm bringing that up. But they were in control and lost 4-3 in OT. And you had Wedgwood in between the pipes for Dallas against the Coyotes. They still lost, but they did jump in front of the Predators in that wild card spot. So they're in the first wild card spot currently with 96 points. They have one game left. The Predators have tonight and tomorrow, of course, against Colorado and Arizona, and they have 95 points. So the playoffs are set. Like both conferences, the 8 teams, it's done.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's in. There's no mystery on who's in and who's out. But now you've got Nashville and Dallas jockeying for position. And, oh, by the way, Edmonton and L.A. L.A.'s now 2 points, just 2 points behind Edmonton for that second spot in the Pacific. So jockeying for home ice. Minnesota, St. Louis will be jockeying for home ice in that first round matchup. So, all right, let's talk about how this plays out. So, It was an interesting school of thought. So, Elliott thought we were going to be right. We're just guessing. David Riddick tonight, Connor Ingram tomorrow to close out the regular season. But that was interesting, like how he brought 2 different elements up of, hey, one, if David Riddick is who you're going with, you want to see him against Colorado or you don't want to see him. You know what I mean? Like you don't want him, but either you want him playing or you don't want him playing. So I don't know how you look at that. I mean, that's for them to know behind the scenes, but it is an interesting discussion to bring up on the show. And I don't obviously know what they're, since I guess we said Riddick and Ingram, I guess there's your answer. But what did you think about him possibly saying Ingram to start game 1? We've talked about that. I just don't see it. I don't see it.
I get his logic.
Yeah.
I do, because you have a young kid that hasn't, I mean, he played, 2 games in the NHL, and that was early on. Won 1, lost 1. So I can understand why he would say, listen, let's see what happens if we put him in the net against a potential first-round opponent and see how he does. Now, that can also be, sort of, in a sense, fool's gold, because it all depends on who Colorado is playing out there, who is going to be in their lineup. And you throw Ingram out there and he's not playing against who he would play against in the playoffs. So, I mean, you're almost doing him a disservice because now it's backfired on you. You're playing him because you think this could be our first-round opponent, so let's throw the young guy in there and see how he reacts. Well, Colorado may throw a curveball and say, listen, we're sitting our guys. We're going to let some younger guys play. We're going to bring some guys that we're just to sit our guys. So how do you then get a full sort of assessment on how he would do playing against that team in the playoffs?
Right.
So it's on one end it could work. On the other hand, it could backfire on you as well.
But you also don't know how Colorado's going to play tonight. With nothing to play for.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I can backfire on you, because you may not get the guys. You may not get the same energy from those guys that you will get from them in the playoffs.
Well, yeah. There's no doubt that's going to be the case. You're not going to get the same Colorado team. They're just coasting to the finish line. They're just like, hey, everybody just stay upright and healthy, and because they're locked in. There's nothing that's going to change with them.
Exactly.
They are the 1 seed, and that's that. Well, we have our answer. Ironically, it was done during the break, and so Ryan on Twitter, and I was just looking at the timestamp. It was done during the break, so our picks were already locked in. We didn't. The head coach had not determined, but the head coach has spoken. John Hines has said who will start tonight and who will start tomorrow night. Do you want me to go on and unveil that, or do you want me to come back with it?
Let's come back with it.
Yeah, I like where your head's at. See,
getting
this radio stuff down. This is where Law and Order should be playing. Behind me. Head coach has spoken. Who will start tonight and who will start tomorrow night? He just said it out in Denver. We'll reveal what it is, who was right, who was wrong. We'll discuss that as well. ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Every Wednesday at 5, join us for Jared versus Joe as they debate all of the big topics in sports, presented by Parman Tractor and Equipment and Mayweather Boxing and Fitness on ESPN 102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Pro Golf is back in Middle Tennessee. Mark your calendars for the Simmons Bank Open, May 5th through 8th. You can see the next wave of PGA Tour stars. Be sure to visit the Sand Trap at the 14th hole and check out great local food trucks, including Hattie B's, Hogwood Barbecue, Dream Burger, Padrino Pops, cocktails from Jack Daniels, and try the Sand Trap Cream Ale from New Heights Brewing Company. Purchase your tickets now at SimmonsBankOpen.com.
Realizing Geico has over 85 years of experience saving folks money and providing great customer service is like realizing there's a crumb tray on the bottom of your toaster, and you don't have to keep turning the toaster upside down to clean it.
How long has that been there? Hey, who needs some croutons?
It's something that's been right there in front of you all along, like the dedicated Geico claims team available to you in the event of an accident to get you back on the road quickly, or realizing that baby carrots are just regular carrots that have been shaved down.
I don't care. They're still cute.
It's something you can't believe you never realized before. Like how Geico's 97% customer satisfaction rating means Geico is committed to providing the best service for their customers. Or how you can peel the top layer of tape off a lint roller and there's a fresh layer underneath.
Marcy, wait till you hear about the lint roller.
You mean how the handle is reusable?
Wait, what?
Trust. It's just one of the many reasons to switch to Geico. They're all right there in front of you.
Out on the trail today, I noticed the signs of spring.
a purple lilac, a monarch butterfly, crisp cool air, and fresh bright sunshine. And all this beauty puts me in the mood to head over to my favorite adult beverage depot, Red Spirits and Wine, where I can load up the wagon with the best wines, whiskey, and brews to wet my whistle. At Red, you'll always find the best selection and value, but their Cracker Jack crew is flat out second to none. Just square dealing folks and straight shooters with great recommendations, and they never come off like some of those big talking fancy pantsers that are just totally full of, well, let's just say fertilizer. Red Spirits and Wine is the only place I do my trading, and once you've seen Red, there just ain't no sense in looking elsewhere. It's like British pop singer Billy Ocean once said, no more love on the run. Red Spirits and Wine is the real deal. Open 7 days a week at Highway 70 South and Old Hickory Boulevard. And follow Red on Facebook and Instagram as well. We'll see you at Red.
The Eagles Hotel California Tour.
Welcome to the Hotel California.
Live in concert with a full orchestra.
Take it.
Performing their iconic album Hotel California, beginning to end, plus a greatest hits set. The Eagles.
One of these nights.
Tonight at Bridgestone Arena. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
Smokeville Smoke Shop has been serving Hendersonville and Metro Nashville since 2015 and is committed to providing high-quality, hands-on, and personable customer service. Stop into Smokeville Smoke Shops in Hendersonville, Gallatin, Hermitage, and Goodlettsville to try any of their wide selection of locally sourced products and selection of top nationwide brands, including vapes, hookah, hand-blown glass, detox systems, e-juices, kratom products, leaf wraps, and much more. Visit Smokeville Smoke Shops today.
The sounds.
Play ball! Out at second base! A tremendous throw by Bryce Terang.
The Nashville Sounds are back on the road to take on the St. Paul Saints.
Swing and a miss, strike three. Sounds win.
Coverage begins at 6:20 on your home for the Sounds.
ESPN
94.9 and the Game Nashville app.
Hey Nashville, this is Penny Hardaway, University of Memphis coach. You're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
We're going to have a really cool event, Music City Celebrity Golf Tournament. It'll benefit the Folds of Honor. That'll be May 16th at Hermitage Golf Course, where we were at on Monday doing our show. It's a great golf course. Put your team together, come play with athletes, musicians, and other local celebrities. Sign up at thegamenashville.com/golf. Looking forward to that event on May 16th, and we're excited to be teamed up with that. Back here on the DDC, John Hines, head coach of the Predators, has spoken. And David Reddick will be in net tonight in Colorado. Winner. Chicken dinner. Connor Ingram tomorrow night against Arizona. So should we screenshot that and send that to Elliot?
I think you
Tag
need
us?
to. I think you need to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think you need to.
I think we need to do that too. Oh, just like that. Boom.
Boom.
We got it right. So, by the way, let me just go on and clear this up. So I do want to pass this along because we've had a lot of fun. Jeff in Kingston Springs on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHunter.com, says Askarov would not be eligible for the postseason roster, even if the Predators wanted to bring him in. I know he is unsigned, but I didn't know he was. According to him, he's saying can't even be eligible for the postseason. So he goes. So there's that. If that is true, but that's just something on our text line. I know that he is. He's not currently signed, but I guess he had to have been signed before the deadline, I think, to be eligible for the playoffs. So there's that. So there even more. That's exactly why I was so emphatic. Like no back tattoo for me. No back tattoo for you.
Dang
Call
it.
him now. We close. No back tattoo for you.
Man, I wanted you to get that back tat, man.
Nope.
I wanted you to get that ink.
No stamp.
Straight
No
up.
stamp on this back.
I wanted you to get that ink. It'd
Not happening.
It would have took them hours to put all that on.
Oh, and I would have been crying too. Like, what are you doing?
Like, Darren, we hadn't even touched you yet.
He hasn't even started. What?
We're just drawing on your back, man.
Oh, I thought we were well into this. He hasn't even touched you yet. Like like that would have been hours of just you guys just would have been roasting me.
Oh, of course. We'd have live streamed it, everything. Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is, Twitter.
We'll invent our own streaming platform just so more people can see it.
Oh, man.
We haven't even started. We're just getting the machine ready.
Darren,
Darren, it's not even plugged in.
Darren, I just put the paper on you.
I would have
put
been
the
like
sheet on your back,
like
man.
a 5-year-old on a road trip. Are we done yet? We done yet? Yeah, I just drew the first line. Are we done yet? Is it done? So I did not like Elliot's pause on my question about UC Saros. Like, what are you hearing?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, there was like a big deep breath. I'm like, that's not good. That's not good. And we've been kind of hinting, right? It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel. There's nothing about it that feels good at all.
Mm-hmm.
Where you could see this miraculous, right? Like he's ready to game one. He's ready to go. I'm here to report. He's ready to go. Oh my gosh, Roger Clement. UC Saros is in the suite. UC Saros is in the suite or in the crease.
It doesn't seem like that's going to happen.
UC Saros is in the crease. We all remember that, right?
Yeah.
The Yankees game.
And he hadn't even hit the field yet. He was just in
the
suite.
Just in the suite. He's in the damn box, the owner's box.
Oh man!
It doesn't feel good. It doesn't mean we're certainly not trying to be a wet blanket, but I would probably, if I'm being honest, again, we're just being honest. Some of you may not want to hear this, but if you honest thoughts, I'd probably be more surprised that he plays than if he did.
You want us to be frank, or do you want us to flatter you? I don't know nobody named Frank. No.
Well, you played with a Frank.
Yes, I did. It's a hell of a player. We can flatter you by saying, hey, you know what? Anything can happen. He can show up, and be ready for the first game, first round. We can say that. But, I mean, the likelihood is it's just not looking good if you just listen to what the coach, listen to his demeanor, his tone. Because I'm sure if they had something more substantial and it was leaning more toward him playing, there's no way he could hide. I'm not saying he would be excited, but there's no way he could hide the fact that he believes in his mind that Saros would play the first game or the second game or the third game. You just can't hide something like that after, your goalie limps off, need to be helped off the ice. If you come back and it finds out, he might just be okay for the first game. I don't think, as much as you would try to keep that close-knit when asked about it, I don't think you could hide your excitement, so to speak, of knowing you will have him some point in this series. And I just heard a coach that was like, man, we were dealt a bad hand, heading into the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And we just got to wait and see, It didn't seem too optimistic. He didn't seem too optimistic, but, hey, with a little treatment, a little Karate Kid rubbing of the hands, Mr. Miyagi, put it on the knee, he might be all right. He might, a knee, ankle, growing, wherever. He might be all right. You know?
Good reference.
Yeah, so that's always there.
Greg on our text line says, can we get Hal Gill to be the tattoo artist? They can sell tickets so we can all watch on Fang Vision. No, absolutely not. Let me just tell you right now, I'd flee the country. If I lost the bet and Hal Gill was the tattoo artist, I'd flee the country. I would.
Oh, my goodness.
Like,
You
I'm
went
not
that
even
far?
kidding. You guys would never hear from me again.
You wouldn't just look for another place to move,
No.
like another state.
Heck no.
You would take it all the way across the border. You're like, I'm gone.
Oh, if they said Skillsy's the tattoo art, he's the one doing the ink on the back. No.
Oh, wow.
I love Skillsy, but no, I'm not letting him do that. He would, first of all, he would enjoy that way too much.
Yeah.
He would be laughing his butt off at me, watching me scream.
And he wouldn't have a steady hand either, because he'd be laughing so much.
Oh yeah, no, he didn't. No, that's a no. That's a hell no. On our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, Taylor asked, "Why did UC Saros travel with the team to Denver if he is injured?" Just curious. I don't see why he wouldn't. I mean, why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Wouldn't he continue to get treatment on the road? I mean, they're not coming home. And I know you could say, well, they could just fly him out later. But, I mean, they can – everybody's with the team.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't he just continue to get treatment and be monitored there with the team? I would be more surprised that he was here than with the team. That's not a tip or an indicator for me at all.
Mm-hmm.
You?
No, because if anything, he's there, he's there for support, if anything. And
right,
like
play
you said,
or not play,
exactly.
like he
He's
needs to be there either way.
He's there to support his team. And, by the way, he gets treatment around the clock as well. Now, if he's back here in Nashville, he can't get that because everybody's gone, like you said. Well, he travels with the team, so now he can get constant treatment, and they try to speed up that timetable for him. So.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. People that have been trying to connect the dots on whether he would be on the flight or not, or with the team, I don't view that as an indicator at all. I expected him to be on the flight and be with the team, no matter what. I expected him to be on this trip.
Yeah, we've had guys when I was playing that we knew was going to be out for a game or two, and they still went.
Let me put it this
to
way,
get treatment and everything else.
This is how strongly I feel about it. The only way, in my mind, he wasn't going to be on the trip, we'd already know. Because the only way he's not on it, John Hines has come out and said, "Yeah, unfortunately, we have to shut UC Saros down for the season."
Mm-hmm. And for the season, he means playoff too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, shut him down for the year. Yeah. Regular season and the playoffs. That's the only way, to me, he's not on the flight with the team, is they've already ruled him out. Like, he's been ruled out the rest of the way. I expected him to be on the trip completely. All right, we'll come back. We'll make our final predictions. What do we think is going to happen tonight? Titans have the draft. Of course, the Predators have game 81 in Colorado at 8 o'clock. Pregame at 7 o'clock. We'll do all that to wrap up Thursday's edition of DDC, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Hey, this is Phil Forsberg. And this is Smashville.
Forsberg a shot, broken up in front, give it back to Forsberg, and here come the Habs.
You're listening to the flagship of the Nashville Predators radio network, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
From the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
I'm Fox 17 News Code Red meteorologist Dan Guthrie. Sunny skies are going to give way to some cloud cover this afternoon and evening. High temperature up to 79 degrees, and then we are 80s for the weekend with storms.
This weather report brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Hal Gill here for my good friends at Dunkin'. You know I love Dunkin', and I'm wicked happy that Dunks is all over Nashville. A newly remodeled next-gen Dunkin' location is at 1645 West Main Street in Lebanon. Of course, Dunks has the best coffee, but they have new spring items available as well. Try the salted caramel cream cold brew, shamrock macchiato made with Irish cream swirl, and the roasted tomato toast with hummus or avocado. They also have amazing chocolate croissants. So go treat yourself, go get your Dunks.
Finishing jobs on time, never being idle, and powerful equipment. Meade has the John Deere excavating equipment and the smart grade technology solutions for you and your business. Power your business with a new, used, or rented excavator and get the performance you expect and service you can rely on. Call us today for the equipment built as tough and reliable as you, or visit us at meadtractor.com. That's meadtractor.com.
Trying to find a new home right now is next to impossible. Very little inventory, prices are crazy high, rates are moving up. Here's a better idea. Let my friends at Loan Pronto refinance your current home, turn all that equity you have into cash, and totally transform your house. A new kitchen, new bathroom, a pool. Think about it. Your home value is up. Instead of wasting all that on an overpriced new house, convert that equity into cash for a home makeover. One local couple did it and got $200,000 out. They added new hardwoods, an outdoor living space, a swimming pool with spa and all new cabinets and appliances, plus a home office. Now they have their dream home, and they never had to move. Call Loan Pronto. Ask about their home improvement refi. Give your home a total makeover and do it now. You can even skip your next house payment in the process. Call now, 615-499-5780. That's 615-499-5780 or loanpronto.com. 615-499-5780. Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval.
From curriculum-based literacy programs and sport leagues to college tours and workforce readiness tracks, Boys and Girls Clubs of Middle Tennessee provide a safe place where youth gain the tools to learn, lead, and reach their full potential. You can support local youth and their great futures by donating at bgcmt.org.
It's the official Bud Light Preds watch party as your Nashville Predators take on the Colorado Avalanche this Thursday night. Puck drops at 8, but the party starts at 7:30 with all kinds of specials. See you at headquarters, Beercade, downtown Nashville on 2nd Avenue. Go Preds!
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Dashboard light problems? We can help. Our free Fix Finder service can read your check engine light, ABS light, and service indicator light, and give you possible solutions, verified by licensed technicians. You'll even get detailed results sent straight to your email so you have them when you need it most. It's the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes. The free Fix Finder service, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
More details at AutoZone.com.
A show that doesn't pull any punches.
And they win a playoff game and they get to the divisional round and he doesn't give up a sack the rest of the year. I don't give two poops. I'm done.
And has an opinion on everything.
That ref crew that was just terrible. Threw flags on almost every possession.
Jared Stillman hosts Stillman and Company.
Tough guy. He's a really tough guy.
Weekday afternoons from 2 to 6. Delivered by TriStar Moving on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN.
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app. If you've missed any of today's show, just search Darren, Donick, and Chase on Apple, Spotify, or on your favorite podcast platform.
That'll get you in the mood for tonight's draft. Don't forget, we've got great deals. The deal of the week, B'nai Pazza is in West Nashville. B'nai Pazza is Nashville's best and most authentic Italian restaurant serving fresh farm-to-table dishes. Head to thegamenashville.com/deals right now. Get half off $30 gift card. B'nai Pazza while supplies last. We found our clip, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah. Susan Waldron.
Roger Clemens is in George's box, and Roger Clemens is coming back. Oh, my goodness gracious. Of all the dramatic things I've ever seen, Roger Clemens standing right in George Steinbrenner's box announcing he is back. Roger Clemens is a New York Yankee.
Wouldn't that be awesome if Philly did that? Oh, my gosh, UC Sarles is in the crease. Oh, my gosh, I'm looking at UC Sarles. He's in between the pipes.
I can't believe it,
I can't
folks.
believe it, Mace.
He hobbled off on one leg, and now he's back. Oh, boy, see Mace, do you see him? He's back.
How awesome would that be? Philly did that on Valley Sports. Man. I can't believe it. UC Sarles is in the crease. Oh, my gosh.
No one thought this would happen.
Last week he was hobbling down the tunnel.
It was done. He was done. Look at him now. I can't believe it.
He's back.
I can see Billy doing that.
I can see him. 74 is in net. 74 is in net.
See Mace, is that? That's 74. Oh, he's back. Sarles is in net. I didn't think it was going to happen. He's in net. See Mace, do you see him? See Mace like, yeah.
I see him, Billy.
Billy's going to kill us, man.
Oh, he is. Third and home tonight for our draft coverage. And you're going to be a part of this.
Yes, I will.
In fact, LD from McMinnville said on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHenna.com, that he is depending on you to get after Stillman tonight when the Titans draft someone outside of who he wants. So when he goes crazy, LD's depending on you to keep Jared in check.
Oh, I'm bringing
That's a lot of responsibility.
I'm up for the challenge.
And who was Caroline talking about? Who's really tough? Who was she talking about?
That's what I was trying to figure out too.
He's a really tough guy. He's really tough.
Really tough guy.
Who's
Is she talking about Stillman? Well, the way it was put together, it made it seem like.
That's why we need answers. We need answers on that.
Yeah, we need that.
Who's the tough guy? Yeah.
Probably not.
I'm with Vrabes, right?
Yeah. I think Caroline needs.
Is she talking about you?
She needs to. She needs to answer that question. Real tough guy. Real tough guy. I'm just messing with you, Caroline. But no, you need to answer that question.
Unnamed texter, this has been the most entertaining DDC to date.
Oh, well, I'm glad you loved it.
I guess on one hand it's a compliment, but on the other hand, what are you saying?
We're a bunch of fools. They give you great information.
The other days it sucks. Today just happened to be good. What? Was that
probably not.
Was that a backhanded compliment?
No, I think he was saying like, man, this is one of the best that I've heard thus far. One of the best.
No one can accuse us of not having fun today.
Yes. He's in net. Oh, look at him.
Oh, I'm here to tell you, he's in net. I was going to say in Denver or Calgary, but I don't know where they're going to be.
I don't
know who they're going to play.
Yeah. You don't know.
Look, you're never going to say this publicly, but just come on, let us in on the skinny. It's just us talking, okay? Do you secretly root for an opponent?
Oh, of course. Absolutely. Absolutely. And any player that is telling you different, they're lying to themselves. They will never say it publicly.
Or lying to us.
No, lying to us. But you, especially heading into the playoffs, you assess everything. Especially if you've beaten the team before. You're like, I would rather play that team than that team. You know what's going on. You know the lay of the land. Now, obviously, you're not going to, we don't shy away from, competing and going out there to win. But who wouldn't like an easier start to kick off the playoff? Who wouldn't? I mean, every team would. That's why they got rankings. If they didn't have rankings, They'd just throw teams in the hat and then pull them. You play this person, you play this person. They got rankings for a reason. You know? So if I'm the number 1 team and I'm playing the 8th seed, then, hey, that's good. But if I'm the 8th seed, I'm like, man, I really don't want to play the number 1 seed unless you've had success against them. And that's why Elliott, he phrased it, them in Calgary, because them in Calgary, that's been a good matchup. That's a good matchup for the Preds.
Yeah. They texted back and said it was the puberty talk that really got me going today. LOL. We did cover peach fuzz, Adam's apples, zits, acne.
We covered it all. I thought we covered all bases.
We did. We've got another text that says Stillman is not tough. He can't even change a battery in his smoke detector without calling the fire department.
I remember that.
That's a good point, Dexter.
Tough guy, real tough guy.
That is a good way to end the show.
Oh my goodness! It's so close!
Oh my gosh! No back tattoos today. Not for you.
Dang it!
You go home.
Dang
no back
it.
tattoo for you.
I wanted to see it too.
All right, who they take on the way out? Come on, who they take?
Who do they take?
Just a position. Just
position.
Let's name the position.
I think they go wide receiver.
Okay, so do I. I believe that. I believe they're going wide receiver. Elijah?
I got Zion Johnson. I think they'll go offensive line. They'll go with a connection here.
Wait till tomorrow when we start the show. Oh, my gosh, they took a running back. The Titans took a